Hey guys, welcome back to Gameplayx4. We got a lot of news for you guys today. It's been a heavy week when it comes to information. We got the Disney Plus update, plus some of the news in the gaming industry here and there. But anyways, besides that, we want to start the conversation right now. How you guys doing, man? How you guys been? How's the weekend? How's the week?
The long
The
ass
weekend.
week.
Yeah, the week. That's
That's
like it has been the week. Yeah, it has been.
There's so many movies coming out this week.
Yeah, you could tell
coming
like
out for us.
you could tell like
Very-
Andres has been
Oh, sorry.
it's been great
Sure.
for Andres because he's playing right there. He's gonna be very busy today. He's gonna be in and out of the conversation, as you can see.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
What about you, Josh, Kenneth? See,
Just working and working on creative stuff. That's it. I haven't played any games. I haven't played Cyberpunk yet. I'm playing next week.
Oh, I thought you guys did. Any of
Yeah,
you
same
started Cyberpunk already?
I think Ken
Yeah,
I
did.
haven't
Oh
received,
yeah, the only
I haven't
the,
received my
the
copy
only
yet.
person who cares about games in this game.
Wait. You got that on consoles?
Yeah, I mean Andres
Ooh.
did.
Andrew, you got
Well,
that on consoles?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you.
Which console?
Which console? Oh, the Xbox,
We
right?
can't hear it, Andres.
He said he got it for arcade. Arcade. Imagine.
Yeah.
Man, his arcade has Wi-Fi, so shit, you can play online.
Yeah, he think he got it for PS5 or something.
You can play online.
Yeah, I think he got it for like
PS4.
Xbox,
Yo,
Xbox.
if you
PlayStation 4.
got that game for last generation, I feel sorry for you. You're not gonna have a good experience.
yeah,
You know, that's what I.
Like if you're not playing this game on PC, you're not playing.
I thought he
that
bought it
game
on
right.
PC.
Yeah.
That's why I thought he bought it for PC.
I bought it for PC.
And that's the safest. Yeah.
Like current generation, it's not that crazy, but nah, it's playable, but it's not ideal.
It's playable. I mean, yeah. Right now, I guess.
No, I'm not even gonna condone that. 60 is not playable anymore. 120 or you got nothing.
120.
Oh man.
And that's what you play on PC only though.
You're gonna condone
PC is
that.
the
60
safety
is
for
not.
that.
Yeah, draw distance and all that
It's
stuff.
not always the safest rock.
I know, like Batman, Arkansas,
Yeah.
But
Call
you
of
know,
Duty's unoptimized too. That game is.
but it
fucking-
came out good for PC, no problems, not that many issues. I guess.
I talk about Cold War.
Andres,
Yeah.
what console did you get Cyberpunk for?
Man, I pre-ordered that collector's edition on PS4.
Base or Pro?
It doesn't matter. They both
Okay, it really
got-
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Pro, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Chewy has
man,
it on with Chewy's PS5, I'll have the update with it.
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate, yeah. You gotta get that
Yeah.
on PC.
Definitely on
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah, but even you know what? I saw all that shit with I've been seeing like right now I'm seeing a stream right now, and I've been seeing streams all week on Cyberpunk, and you know what? It's the same shit as every fucking open world game, and I'll coin the phrase that Maximilian dude said right while he was playing it. It's just open world jank. It's the same open world jank that any open world jank game has, right? This is like certain NPCs are glitching out. Certain things don't work. It's the same shit because you're trying to control this huge open world area and world, and you can't control every single piece of code, every single things because code intersects, they crash, shit happens, there's an effect of it, and you can't always control that, especially on an online environment like an online game that constantly needs patches. I think the only thing that probably I can say that has like the less jank out of all the open world games with Zelda, but even Zelda had its janks as well.
Zelda, let's not go there. Zelda had jank, but Zelda was empty.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
So-
That's what I'm saying. The less out of all the open worlds, Zelda was the one in comparison.
Horizon
that
there
had
wasn't
the less-
jank in Horizon.
What happened?
Horizon didn't have that much jank.
There
Horizon was
still
actually
some
pretty
jank.
clean.
Yeah, but there was still some jank.
It was pretty
Like,
empty in Horizon though.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I'm saying like a comparison to all the open world games, Zelda has been the one. But I mean, again, because it's empty, it's not that populated, right? Not like
And it's not 1440p 4K. It's
right,
just
exactly,
720p.
right. But even with that, it still had its jank
It still
again,
had, yeah,
and
it still
like
had
Max,
dips.
right, and so like again, what Maximilian said is just open world jank, and you're gonna find that in every open world game, like no matter
Yeah.
what.
Of course.
And no, and when we're seeing that right now, like it looks like the latest hot patch for Cyberpunk is kind of like breaking the game on PC. So like,
I'm perfectly fine.
so and actually the update with the 1 day update, the day one update actually was fixing a lot of things, and then they just did a hot patch today, and it looks like it went back to whatever the day one thing fixed in the first place. So it looks like it's in a worse state now than it was, before.
I'm having no problems with it. I mean, I enjoy it. The thing is that when you play this game on PC, you should know, like
Right.
everyone should know, this game was made for RTX cards. All right,
Mm-hmm.
that's what this is made for.
Right.
If you have AMD, any card, even the new ones, if you have anything below a RTX card, a GTX, whatever, you're probably gonna have a problem with this game. So I can understand why it would have
But even
people have problems, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, these kind of games have glitches. They're just big like that. That's how it goes a lot
right.
of the time.
I mean,
There's so much stuff in it. It's hard to
right.
get it all together.
Has it ever crashed the game before? Can it right now?
No, not really.
Travels?
But
I haven't had some
like
fun.
I've seen that everyone has their different type of jank, right? Like
Yeah.
some people are saying that they don't have that many problems, others saying that they do, others people saying that the guns float in the air. There are other people that saying that, well, and I saw it, and
Yeah, I saw
I'm
that.
seeing
Yeah.
it in Angry Joe's stream right now. He faces don't get rendered on certain NPCs, so it
Yeah.
looks like the 8-bit, I mean, not the, I'm sorry, like the like the Lara Croft 64-bit
Oh, the
face.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah, right. So it looks like that, so it's like not rendering properly. There's like some other certain shit, sometimes things aren't interacting, sometimes there's delays to certain noises like explosions and stuff like that, or are sometimes people are like concrete, like NPCs, like in the world, are concrete. So if you hit them with the car, they're like Superman. So, um, yeah, certain shit like that is just happening in the game. But like Max on Max's stream, even with his beefed up system, he has a 3090, right? Which
Yeah.
is more than sufficient than any graphics card out there right now, and he was still seeing jank on his end. Coke Carnes, when I was seeing it in the morning, he was still experiencing. He also has a 3090. He's actually even in the game as an NPC, so like he's actually paid. He was a paid actor and person in Cyberpunk, and he was experiencing jank, and he was even saying like, yeah, they need to change this, and this, and this.
Yeah, I could tell you right now though. This game definitely needed another delay from all the
Yeah.
jank that's been going on. But
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red talked so much shit they couldn't delay one more time.
So they had to
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like
it
not only that, but
definitely.
the minimum requirements are kind of jank. Essentially, like I could tell you, right? So if you want to have ultra 4K, right? We're not even talking about ray tracing, none of that stuff.
Right.
If you want ultra 4K, right? You need either Intel 4790 because it's an amazing CPU,
Mhm.
3600 for Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a RTX 2080 Super or 3070. Remember, this is without ray tracing on. With at least 8 gigs of VRAM and a 70 gigabyte SSD. So this is ultra for no ray tracing minimum requirements. It's like, and this is something similar across all of them, unless you're playing at 1080p low. So essentially, if your computer wasn't built within like the last 3 years, you are not going to get a good experience out of this game.
Right.
That's what it looks like. And when I say your computer, I mean your entire computer. And that sucks. Because you see what happens on the console a lot, which was that the graphics were just terrible. I mean, I see. You remember when I was joking? I think last week when I said it was going to be like Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3 on the 360.
Yeah, man, that looks terrible.
Yeah, it's probably worse actually. I mean, I was showing Josh a video.
At
Like
least,
an entire road popped in.
at least Black Ops 3 ran at 60.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what did it cost?
What did it cost? Everything.
Yeah, like this game clearly was made with PC ray tracing in mind.
Right.
And for next generation, they should have just canceled last gen and just call it a fucking day and just finish the damn game and finish all the bugs and hiccups. Cause yeah, like it looks like a good game, but all those bugs and the hiccups. I mean, and so far there haven't been like, for what I know, there hasn't been like game breaking bugs. It's just,
Right.
like, stuff like
Again,
that.
open
No,
world.
there are some.
Yeah,
There
open
are
world
some
game.
game maker. There are some game maker.
there is?
bugs.
Yeah,
there are
but
some.
now how long it's gonna
Yeah.
take for them to fix those mistakes though?
It's probably going to be a while. That game world is pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's
Do you
And
think
it's
it's gonna be
heavily
modded?
there's
dense.
not a
too.
lot of stuff. Yeah, it's dense.
Yeah.
Down.
It's not like
Wow.
it's not like GTA or actually GTA was pretty dense. It's not like Skyrim where you have like a monster here,
Right.
an NPC there, or
Yeah,
Legend of Zelda where it's
Skyrim
like
is much
scattered
more
out.
open.
See,
Right. It's a packed
I
city.
told you guys that
That's
game
what
was gonna
people-
be trash at launch date, right?
Oh no, the
So-
game is great.
No, I
The
mean,
story is
once
good.
it's
The
run
game-
properly,
the
I'm
game
sure.
is great.
I'm sure once it's run
it
properly,
looks-
you're gonna have the
it's
whole experience
fun.
that it deserves. But
Yeah.
like, let's be honest, not most of them have the kind of quality machines enough for it to support this game at the experience that it deserves, right?
No,
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
the
no.
thing. That's the
It-
thing too, is that I have a feeling this game would have turned out like The Witcher, but
Yeah.
what ended up happening was that Nvidia and Microsoft got their hands on it,
Yep.
and it became a product to push hardware.
hmm
Yeah.
You get me? Like that's when they start saying, "Oh, here's a like this is the first time I've ever seen it from Nvidia." I don't know if they did it before, but this is the first time I've seen it from Nvidia. Is that they whatchamacallit, they actually branded a graphics card like with the game. Like that's the first time I've seen it from
Yeah,
Nvidia.
that
Yeah.
graphics card was so sick.
Yeah, and if Microsoft did it all the time, but it was so crazy, like to see how much these companies were just throwing behind Cyberpunk. As soon as it became like the most hyped game, it was just all things just jump on it right as soon as possible.
Right.
Like you had like if you saw it, I think people said that if you wanted the full Cyberpunk experience, I think you need to pay like almost like $3,000 because it was like Cyberpunk graphics cards, Cyberpunk consoles, Cyberpunk mouse, Cyberpunk monitors, microphones, like all kinds of just chairs, everything. It was just Cyberpunk all over the place in the game. Didn't even come out. It was insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun. It looks like a fun experience, and and the story at times can be. It looks like it can be like slow at times, but like it picks things up, and I think the one thing that I can say is that the main character of the game is the world, right? Like Night City is the main character of the game.
Yeah.
It's not actually you, the character of the game that's playing it. It's more what shines in this game is the city. What shines in this game is the world. Everything that you get to see, everything that you get to experience, everything that you're basically handed to over your eyes of what this game delivers. It's basically that, right?
I mean, I would say because I would argue the main draw for this game, which is rare in these times, was actually the story. I think more people were interested in the story this time around. I think the world is a nice compliment to a story. Don't get me wrong; it's a pretty world, and I do like it. But the story is pretty engaging.
Right, but
and I'm not even listening to it. I'm actually reading it with the subtitles playing.
I don't know how this man plays story-driven games and mutes the volume.
And
Yeah, he's just weird.
I'm like reading it, and I'm just like, damn, like this is kind of
Wouldn't you be more immersed if there was sound
Yeah.
coming from your computer?
The answer is yes, but that shows you how immersive the game is. How
But I
good the story
again,
is
Ken,
without the sound.
for see, like, okay, like for people who are into RPGs like that, I understand. But for a game that was so hyped up, and so this game is not only getting attracted to RPG fans, it's getting attracted to casuals, right? People who
Yeah.
play games casually. They're not gonna be interested in the story like how much you are, or how much people who are driven to RPG games are, because they know what they're gonna get into when they get into an RPG game, right? Lore, they're gonna get into data books, into story about NPC stories, about your own story. There's so much thrown at you, kind of like Final Fantasy, right? Or whatever. A lot of stories thrown at you. People who are casuals that are looking at this game and that was advertised to them, it looked like a run and gun open world experience where I can slash my way through, kind of like GTA, where I could just spray bullets and have this experience and just go guns blazing. And that's not necessarily how this game is in the
Okay.
beginning. And the gunplay is not even all that great as far as I know. And so even though the melee combat is not that great. So it's just, again, it's however you are into with the story, right? If you're into that type of thing and Cyberpunk is the story that you're into, then kudos to you. If you like the Witcher world, and you like how that story development happens, then you're gonna like how Cyberpunk is. If you don't, this is gonna be a very long game for you,
But here,
because you're gonna have to go through a lot of. The thing is, this game throws a lot of exposition at you. A lot of it. There's like a dump trunk of exposition, and a
okay.
lot of casuals are not gonna get attracted to that.
I was that's the thing, right? Because it's if you look at The Witcher, right? Now let's be fair, most people didn't finish the Witcher game.
Yeah.
But that game sold really well to casuals after the show came out.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people carried over into Cyberpunk. And Cyberpunk is actually a shorter story than The Witcher.
Really?
I think, yeah. And so I think that I think because I personally I would have to say like, okay, first of all, let's just get out of the way. The female voice actor, the one I chose, she's not that great at acting. But when it comes to the acting in the game, in the few pieces I did hear of it, it was pretty good. The Keanu Reeves, because I understand what you're saying about the world and how much exposition is tossed at you, but I just think that when you combine everything the game has to offer, yeah, it doesn't do anything amazingly,
Right.
but when you combine everything that the game has to offer, I think it's something that a lot of people will enjoy. Because like you said, the gameplay isn't that great, but it's not bad.
Right.
The driving
Oh,
is terrible
right.
if you
Right.
compare it to GTA, right?
Right.
Um,
But you have to keep in mind, this game, I'll give the best example that there is for this game, is that GameSpot rater, right? The reviewer. And she gave the rating a 7, right? And a lot of people got pissed at her, right?
yeah,
Which to me was fine. You know why I say it's fine? Because it gets kind of stupid and dreary when everyone's giving a game a 10, right? Like
yeah,
there's not much of diverse perspective. Everyone's kind of like just going to the same conclusion.
right.
But she is a prime example of a casual fucking player, of a person that went in and said, you know what, the story didn't really grab me. There's a lot of jank in the game, and she was focusing a lot of it on the jank of the game, and how it was kind of unplayable at times, and the gunplay wasn't that great, and this and that. But towards the end is where kind of like it has its hurrah moments and stuff like that. But she's like, in the beginning, it was just like a slugfest, and she's such a prime example of what casuals go into this game with.
I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. Was with the game? It depends on how you played it ultimately.
Right.
Because if you have a high end system like me, then I didn't really run into that many bugs. I did run into some jank a little bit, but it wasn't like a crazy amount of jank. It wasn't even a noticeable jank. It was something I had to like look back twice at.
Right.
But the thing is, I have the hardware to play it at its peak.
Right, but you're not
exactly
the only one, Ken.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. But the thing is, the people who don't have that are not willing to spend on it, right? Like, doesn't mean they can't afford it, just doesn't mean they're not willing to buy it or can't buy it. I think it depends on. I think the experience changed because if you look at a lot of the Metacritic for this game, right, it's getting a pretty low score. I think it's getting like a 6,
right,
on Metacritic for the PC version,
right.
And I understand it because it's like if you
because everyone's gonna focus on the jank of the PC version.
Right, but then you have to also look at like the average person who plays on PC has a not that expensive rig. Usually the average price is thinking around like $500, right? So we're talking about people who are coming from like 1070s and lower, GTX 1070s lower. And so when you have that, a game like this comes out where it's clearly designed for another generation of hardware, right? Because this is like one of maybe a few times it's happened on PC where you have a game that's clearly designed for the next generation of hardware, right? And on console,
whether it's graphics cards or the consoles,
or the CPU, and you have people who don't have that. They
that's what I'm saying.
An entirely different experience than someone who does have it, right? And a part of me is thinking like how much of that came down to them trying to push a product versus trying to make a good game. Like, because personally, I believe that they should have never released this for the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox.
No, of course not.
I don't think,
like they should never release it.
I don't think so, yeah.
And to be honest, like they probably should have prefaced it with the best experiences are going to be on RTX card, right? Or a new generation card. And that sucks because that's like you shouldn't really have to say that on PC, but I understand it, right? Eventually, you're gonna have to, get the old hardware out anyway.
Yeah.
Especially the 1000 series, which has been around for like over 5 years now. Or over 5 years.
Have you tried the game in 1080p? Because I know in 1440p, it was going really smooth for you.
Yeah, I haven't tried it in 1080p. If I had it in 1080p, it'll probably give me like almost 200 frames. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm a 1080p peasant, so I'll be alright.
No,
it just I think
that's why you have so much crazy reviews because it's just like, damn. Because I said I've never experienced those bugs, but I get it if other people have, and I can understand why people are frustrated with that, especially how many times it got delayed.
Damn. So
this is why you don't want to charge games. Thank you.
This is why I don't pre-order games,
bro. You say that this game was ready, the shit was gonna be the best when it dropped, and then what?
I mean, the game is still great.
Nah. Stop lying.
Yeah.
Stop lying.
The game is definitely great, but see, that's
like that's what I said. As I say, like if you get to experience, if you get to that point where everything is all right and you get to play it, I'm sure the game is awesome. You know what I mean? But for all of the people out there who have shitty systems or have or playing an Xbox or PS4, they're having a tough time dealing with it. It's like, bro.
Well, you also have to understand too that this is not going to be the first game. This is it's probably getting a lot of shit because it's the first game that's doing it. Other games that are going to be coming out like within the next year or so, they're not going to play well on last gen machines.
Yeah, I think what happened was, like I said, Microsoft and maybe this is damage control too, but I think Microsoft and Nvidia got their hands on it and used it to push hardware. I think that's the biggest thing to happen. I think that's why it didn't come out in March. Because it was a solid March for like up until 3 weeks before it was about to come out. Then all of a sudden it was just like, no. And before you know it, here's an Xbox version. Here's an Xbox Series X version. Here's a PlayStation 5 version. I'm like, did they rush this out? Like, was this rushed out for these consoles? Like, did they tell them to hold it back?
Yeah, like the only platform that it's still having little glitches and all that, but clearly,
I think it was way too ambitious.
The machine that it was made for is not having as many issues as the machines that they weren't made for, which is last generation.
Yeah, like I think it was personally I think it was made for last generation. I think it was made for last generation, and those two companies came in and tried to and convince them with however big the check was to make a this gen version. The reason I say that is because
you're talking about for like with ray tracing and all that shit?
yeah, and the reason I say that is because think about it, right? The Xbox One got a collector's edition, PlayStation 4 got a collector's edition, where's Series X and PlayStation 5 collector's edition?
Yeah,
Well,
true.
because it was a
You see what I'm saying?
right.
Like they didn't have one, and so
Well,
I don't
the
think they
thing
were
is,
originally made for those consoles. I think they got pushed into it.
I something that Max said that he felt like it was like this game was made for next generation. It's just
That's what I'm saying. It feels
because
like it was made for next gen.
because if it was made for the Xbox and PS4 versions, it was it wouldn't have this much jank, because you have to keep in mind this game has been 8 years or in development, right?
Right.
And then so Max was saying they had the hardware. It's not like they didn't have the hardware. They had the hardware for it to be in a PS4 and Xbox. But then they, towards the end of their cycle, they decided to let's do the RTX. Let's do the
Right.
let's do the next generational consoles. And it felt like all that shit got shifted, and then because I had the collector's edition pre-order of last year, and no one really knew last year till that point in June of last year about any of the specs of PS4 or Xbox, and even those companies were still hush hush with even the devs for games. Like we didn't, devs weren't even getting the consoles in like what till like maybe the half of this year.
No, I agree. I agree.
Right.
I just think that it was made for last gen over this gen.
Okay, here's two things. If it was, I personally think it was made for last gen, but as time went on, they were just gonna move it straight to next generation machines. But and I think they would have ran perfectly fine on last generation and this gen, but because the whole ray tracing shit started coming out and it blew up, I think that's fucked them up the most.
No, yeah, that's what I was thinking, that it was made for last gen, because
and it's
so many.
Yeah,
the ray tracing was so it was barely introduced.
Yeah, and it's
but at the same time, it's it's no way they knew back in 2012 that there was going to be a 3000 series car with ray tracing. There's no way they knew that.
Yeah, I don't think ray tracing was never in mind. And also ray tracing is still fairly new. It's still
about to be 2 years old.
Yeah, but we're using it to the point where it's not
no, that's what I'm saying. The technology available out there is about to be just 2 years old.
Yeah. So, but the fact that this game wasn't a ray tracing game from the ground up. They added that shit on, obviously, and I think that's what fucked them up.
Yeah, and I think they had that deal with Nvidia. They're like, oh, add a ray tracing, give us a game to push our new cards.
Let me just say, like someone had said before, fuck ray tracing. Dude, ray tracing has been you can tell, okay, ray tracing, all right, I get reflections and shit, all right, that's cool and all.
No, but it's not just reflections, bro. It's
no.
When you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. No, I understand. But when you see it
it's
usually still, you gotta be still. Max was
useless.
Did this, and he's like, oh, I want to vomit. The frames were going this.
Ray tracing is not ready though.
It's not. And then
for 4K.
No. If you look, ray tracing is if you're playing 1080p, maybe now 1440. That's what ray tracing is for. It's not. If you're trying to do 4K ray tracing, you're not gonna have a good time.
It's all a gimmick.
Even 1080p, 4K. I mean, what ray tracing? You get
It's all a gimmick.
45 frames.
Well, with the 3000 series, you can get over 100.
Okay, yeah,
it's a gimmick.
He has a 3090, and he was just fuck ray tracing, because it was just making. He wasn't even getting a constant 60 with ray tracing. He was just like, what the fuck is this?
You know what he was playing at? Because
he was paying. He has a 3090.
It's a gimmick, bro.
Yeah, and he has a brand new build. They sent him a brand new build on his computer, and so and it came with 3090.
But
And
the
so
thing
this
is,
one
like
was
ray tracing at 4K is not happening right now. Like it's extremely difficult. Like,
It's
it's not.
so demanding. Like
You know how it
Yeah.
is. You know how I feel it is. You know when that Xbox came out with that bar sensor thing. What was it called?
The Connect.
The
a
Kinect. Yeah.
loading screen.
No. The Kinect. The Kinect.
Oh, you think it's a gimmick?
Yeah. It was like no, it's like it's like
Well-
technology that's not ready right now. You get me?
well, the Connect was ready.
Like the thing is,
The
you
Kinect
know,
was ready.
no, but I mean, it still needed a lot of more.
That didn't caught on.
It still needed
the
a
thing
lot
is
of more
the
preparation to
difference.
make. Not even games were like.
The ray tracing is not ready for 4K, 1440 maybe. The Kinect
Yet
when
they
it came out,
decided to
it was
market
ready.
it like
No,
that.
And it's not ready for next generation either.
No. That's not true. See, here's the thing, right? Ray tracing, the concept of ray tracing, right, has been around for like 30 years. All right. Ray tracing itself is fine. The problem is that Nvidia and AMD are trying to squeeze the most amount of money out of the people who buy their cards, and so they give them the bare minimum to do it. And so that's why you end up with these jank ass cards. I mean, the 3090
Oh,
is
okay.
$1,500. It has barely enough to give you ray tracing, right? With 20 gigs of memory, right? Now explain to me, knowing that for 4K with ray tracing, you need in the new DirectX package, knowing that you need more VRAM, they make a 37 with 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Like,
Okay,
come on,
so-
like
oh,
they
like,
always
okay,
do this.
Okay,
you know what they were doing when they released the 2000
Right.
series. That
Well-
was a middle finger to everybody.
That was a test. That was like, here's ray tracing. Do you guys like it? Okay, cool. This one, look at our new card. It has 5 times the ray tracing performance. It was like, yeah, because you underpowered the other one. That's
Yeah.
Right.
it
But
wasn't
okay,
because of
we'll rephrase ray tracing and we'll say RTX, right?
yeah.
So the RTX of this generation, right? Because now RTX is also implemented in the new generational consoles. So where you can
well, ray
enable it
tracing is
on
a
and
new
off.
generation.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
RTX
I'm
is the name
saying.
of the card.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Of this generation, of this
Yeah.
era now that we're living in, now that's the thing. Now it's even in the new consoles that we have now, right?
Yeah.
But even now, it's just to the point where like these games aren't ready to implement RTX yet. Even the newer ones that just came out. A prime example is Demon Souls. Demon Souls takes a dip when RTX is on. Devil May Cry.
Wait,
5.
on PS5?
Yes, on PS5.
It,
It takes
Demon
a
Soul
dip.
doesn't have ray tracing.
Yes, it does.
No, it
I
doesn't.
don't think it does.
Max was enabling it, and he was just like, "I'm taking it off."
Wait,
Are you sure?
sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
Because
on
they
the
said
stream.
it doesn't have ray. For Digital Foundry said it doesn't have ray tracing.
Right.
Mm,
Are you sure? Was
I
it performance
believe it
mode
was.
It
versus?
might have been performance mode or in a quality mode.
Maybe.
It does,
But
yeah, there's no
he
ray
was
tracing.
also.
Yes, the Demon Souls
was
will not
also-
support ray tracing on PlayStation.
I think I'm mixing it up with Devil May Cry. Sorry, with Devil May Cry 5, the remastered edition, because that one they even had a trailer for RTX.
Yeah.
And they were showing like puddles and they're like, well, of course they're gonna put more puddles in the game for RTX.
Yeah.
And so
It's always
he was-
fucking puddles.
right.
Yeah, that's what you
So
different.
and so he was like looking at the game. He's like, fuck ray tracing on the shit. And then he said fuck ray tracing again in Cyberpunk. And it isn't RTX. Just the games for right now, like in this new generational infancy, isn't ready for RTX yet. Like the devs weren't planning for RTX, and you can tell. And so I feel like down the road, like maybe 2 years from now, when we're starting to see these games that are developing with RTX, is when you'll start seeing those mass improvements. But until then, with these new games that are barely coming out now, you won't see the benefits of it.
I completely disagree. I think it's the hardware, not
Agree
the
to
software.
disagree. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
I
move
just
on.
think that again, Nvidia, they just like I
Yeah.
said, there's a reason why if you cut out ray tracing of certain games, you get exactly 30, exactly 60,
let's-
exactly 100. Like that's what they want. They want you to.
Look,
Oh,
look,
you
You're saying
want
that
60?
you're saying that with
Buy the new card.
3090s as well.
Of course, bro. These guys make new generation of cards literally year after year.
Mhm.
Like
It
to
wasn't
next
like
year-
back in the day, man. Back in the day, you got quality cards.
Yeah, they are. Think about it right now, right? They released the 37, 80, and 90 in August, September. Okay.
Mm.
They already have a 3080 planned, a 3060. They just released a 3060 Ti. They already have a 3060 planned, a 3070 Ti, and a 3080 Ti already planned. Right? Like they gimp these cards on purpose. They always have. Because if they know that if you want to play Cyberpunk at 1440p on with ray tracing on, and you have a 2060, okay, and you getting 20 frames, you know what you do? Do you overclock it? Nope. You go out and you buy a 37. All right, you can buy a 3070, and if you want 100 frames on that, guess what you're buying? A 3080. You want 150? Guess what you're buying? A 3090. You're not going to get any more than we give you at this moment, because that's what NVIDIA does.
And they're getting away with it too.
Well, let's put it this way: we all got played. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got played, and let's move on to this topic. Wait,
let's
can
talk about
make it.
Cyberpunk,
So since you was DJing the slides, make sure to change them because we're still in the same one.
Yeah. No, I know, because we haven't really started with.
Well,
we already talked
about Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk one.
Yeah. We talk about consoles too.
Yeah, we can skip Cyberpunk.
Okay. What about
Alright,
this?
Yeah, we already talked about Cyberpunk.
So speaking of consoles, okay, so Nintendo's back at it again. Well, I guess everyone's back at it again with this jank because if you guys remember last week, we talked about the free melee movement. All right,
Yeah.
and now it escalated again with the Splatoon 2 teams decide to put free melee and save Smash in their titles into their game, their avatars, and they
canceled it.
Nintendo saw it and canceled the whole thing. And so instead of putting up with it again, they just decided to just drop out of it and said screw it, and then they had their own Squid House. So obviously that's a play on a Big House, the one that Nintendo canceled.
Yeah.
So you have the Squid House, and apparently it was pretty lit. They had almost $3,000 prize pool. So what do you guys think about this?
I think I read something about it.
I think that's great.
Yeah, there was something about it.
I mean, fuck Nintendo.
You know what recently happened with Nintendo, right?
What's that?
They went on Twitch, and those people who like to listen to Nintendo music, from the past Zelda and like Mario games.
Oh, they clean?
They cleaned them. Like all their clips from YouTube and Twitch, they strike them with a copyright.
Yeah.
And then
these Nintendo ninjas are out of control,
bro. And then people were so fucking pissed. I was like, bro, fuck Nintendo. I'm never gonna support any fucking game, their consoles, until they change this bullshit. Because, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, why would they go and do that? And specifically with like Twitch streamers that like the Nintendo soundtracks, from their games, and they use it from their not just their streams, but also their gameplays, the highlights they put on YouTube.
Oh, so if they had a game and the music just happened to play from the game, they would strike those too?
Yeah, anything that has to do with Nintendo soundtrack.
If it's playing, what if they're playing their game? Do they strike that?
Yeah, and anything has to do with Nintendo. Anything has to do with Nintendo. They don't like their stuff. Anything just like the copyright strike for soundtrack. There's and then that's why people were so pissed. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Why would you go against us? Like, first of all, you didn't want us to play your games. Now you don't want us to play none of your music. And now you're like coming and claiming copyright for all your stuff.
But the thing is this Nintendo or is it Twitch doing it?
No. It's Nintendo. Nintendo came out in Japan. They're like Japanese Nintendo. They said like fuck you. We don't.
Nintendo Japan.
Yeah, they came for it. Like they said, you know what? We don't want you to play our games.
Yo, this is what happens when a company gets cocky. Because remember during the Wii U days?
Yeah.
Remember during the Wii U days? Yo, they were the most humble gaming company.
I remember those were that was a lot of
Nintendo.
Yeah, I know that. They were humble as fuck. Now, man,
I think Nintendo.
This new president, bro,
this
new president is all about that money. He don't.
He killing the whole community. Nintendo, very much.
Is he though? I mean, like I said, under him, all new heights, my guy. All new heights.
See that he killed all the competitive.
But
Nintendo.
the investors don't give a fuck because he's making them mad money.
It's like I tell people, man. It's like I said 100 times, man. Look, check this out. You could talk shit like us, like average people could talk shit when their games aren't selling 20 million copies. You see what I'm saying? Like That's how, because it's like these are the best selling games of
See, but the
Nintendo.
thing is, let me give you an example. I know what you're saying, but we are a minority when it comes to gaming. Like
Of
us,
course.
like when
Yeah.
it comes to gaming,
Hardcore
casuals is
gamers.
what sells those millions, not us. We
Exactly.
probably a couple thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
a couple 100,000.
But
But when it
that's
comes to the casuals, they make those $20 million.
and that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like when we talk shit like, oh, Nintendo's gonna flop, it's like, bro, their games are selling like records. Like, you know, they're selling record amounts of games right now. Like, so far, the Switch version of most of their games have been like the best selling version of the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
grow
hard.
bigger and nobody's buying the Nintendo
Like,
games. What
you
will
take a
happen
look
out
at
there?
you take a look at Animal Crossing, right? One of the best selling Animal Crossing. I think it's the best selling Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it is.
You have Breath of the Wild. I think it's the second best selling Zelda game. Pokemon Sword and Shield. I think the second best Pokemon selling game. Smash Bros. Ultimate, the best selling Smash Bros. Game. It's like when you have a list of games you could name off and say this is the best selling in our history, and they're all on the one console at the same time. Everyone's telling you a piece of shit.
But that's before.
And then you know what's going on? Nintendo, they're getting greedy. Like they got so overprotective about their content. They don't want everyone to profit out of it, or to at least.
I mean, but it's like I was telling Josh earlier, right? It's like, look at what happened. You had all these people gassing people up on YouTube, on Reddit, on Twitch, saying, "Oh, we hate Nintendo." As soon as they unveiled Sephiroth, what happened? Oh, that's a cool ass character. Oh, I can't. It's like, and there you go.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we have a hate and love relationship with Nintendo, and people need to learn that, you know what, fuck Nintendo, and they need to mean it. Like, they, I don't want to buy their stupid games anymore. I don't want it to support them because they literally, like, come on, man, why would you do this? Why would you just like go and say fuck you to the community of gamers?
When the Wii U flopped, they learned a lesson. You saw people. What happened? People were saying the Wii U flopped because it had no games. When the Switch came out, they're like, okay, look at all the games we have. They learned a lesson.
Yeah, they need to like.
But when it comes to their games, even on the Wii U, their games are selling like crazy.
They need to stop. People need to.
You have the Federation force their games.
People need to stop buying, like, stop supporting Smash Brothers.
Yeah, but if you kill your community, it will literally.
They need like they Smash Brothers community has to come and say, fuck this. We're not gonna stop buying, and they need to boycott the next like, let's say, we just got a new character, right? They need to boycott the next character that comes out. Just no one will buy it.
But here's the thing: they already bought the Smash Pass, so they got their money.
I mean, not only that, but at the same time, you have to look at this. Like, we're looking at the Squid House right here. They're gonna stream it, right? Are you gonna be surprised if Nintendo comes and takes that down? You're playing with fire at that point.
I don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
Yeah, but
the thing is, a lot of people don't understand. Like, a lot of people don't really understand, like, how much of a bind they put Twitch in to when they do this. Because you guys understand, when you repeatedly violate a copyright, you could go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just go to jail. So you think it's like, people think it's like cute to go like, oh man, fuck it, we're gonna go stream it over here. It's like Nintendo could literally press charges.
No. Okay. I forgot to add this. In the UK only, if you get more than two, or maybe one strike of you copywriting Nintendo music, you go to jail automatically. And in the UK,
that's how serious.
And they're trying.
Twitch is really buff. Like, Twitch and YouTube, by just banning you, is actually doing you a service. They're actually trying to introduce similar laws like that in the United States, where it would literally just say, "Hey, you post copyright music. Goodbye YouTube. Goodbye Twitch." It's like I'm telling you, like don't play this game. You can't win it. Sorry, I know it sucks, but you're not gonna win because you gotta convince people why a company shouldn't have control over the things they create. It's not gonna happen. You can't convince anyone of that.
Yeah,
you just can't.
And they added it to any kind of copyright that you do on Switch. You're gonna go to jail.
I just don't get it. It's like, it's free advertisement, bro. Like,
it is.
Crazy.
But you know how
do they not like free advertisement?
They just overprotect. They're protecting their content to be used
they
in one
want
way
control.
or another. Yeah.
They want control. They want absolute control. This is the way Nintendo's always been. They want absolute control. Remember when they bought Super Pornio Brothers?
Yeah.
Well, why did they buy it?
because they don't want Mario to be in their games to be
associated.
associated with
Yeah,
porn.
yeah.
Exactly. So they went out of their way, spent God knows how much money, right? Just to be like, hey, we're not going to release this. Think about the mindset you have to put that out.
Which is crazy because they have their own love hotels.
Yeah, like just to imagine, like say, hey, we want our character so clean, we're gonna spend millions of dollars to make sure a movie doesn't come out. That's insane.
Yeah, I'll be happy if I were the other end.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we can't even really talk shit about it because
Yeah.
Nintendo has been around for over 100 years.
Nintendo would be
So,
like, I'll kill.
do they know something we don't know? How many companies last that long?
Gameplayx4, can I get their numbers so I can sue them?
So Gameplayx4 is probably going to last a couple of more hours.
We're gonna get banned at the end of the day. It was like, you talk about Nintendo.
Yeah. But it's really insane, man. It really is. I mean, I just like I understand why they're doing it, but
okay, look,
I respect it, but
think it's gonna kill.
you don't want to play with this kind of fire.
Look,
you just
look.
don't want.
I think Nintendo is his own enemy. To be honest,
The crazy thing is that the community is what keeps like some games, alive for so long time.
Yeah.
So it's like
I think that's the problem Nintendo has. It's like they don't want that game. Exactly. They don't want it.
Let's put it this way: fuck
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Because their idea is like Nintendo's idea is like, cool. You want to play Smash Bros. Online? Get Smash Ultimate. That's Nintendo's stance. That's the stance they want to have. That's the stance they want to make you do. It's like, bro, like you want to have an online experience with Smash Bros. You got 3 other Smash games you can play: Brawl, which got shut down, 4, which got shut down, or Ultimate, which is still there. So that's what Nintendo wants, and it's crazy. But like I said, I don't even want to go to jail over video games. Just I wouldn't even
or any type of content because they're going from music and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like just like it's not worth it, man.
if you wanted to be a Nintendo only streamer, man, you fuck,
bro. That's why you see Nintendo games anywhere. Anyways,
the only way to confront Nintendo is by not buying.
Look, we're gonna keep our war. We're gonna keep a war. We're gonna skip the next slide. It's about Pikachu. Fuck Nintendo, right?
That's Pikachu ASMR. Okay, go listen to it.
Okay. What is it like?
Okay.
Oh, really? Is a Pikachu SMR?
I was like, Pika, culo, Pika. No.
Okay, right.
What is? I don't know. What is he gonna get? Pika.
Oh, look, more Nintendo talk. Sephiroth.
Pika.
Exactly. Just take the stream as example. We went from Nintendo to Nintendo. Okay. That's why we're not out here doing this.
What's up with this bullshit?
So Sephiroth is coming to Smash 4. I just like to say I called it.
No, I was wrong. No, he did call it. He said Sephiroth was going to be one of them. Yeah. I said no because I thought Sephiroth was an assist trophy in Ultimate, but he's an assist trophy in Smash 4. So I don't know why I just thought it was an Ultimate. So I was like, nah, it ain't Sephiroth. But I was wrong. He was right. Cool.
Whatever. I know there's no character. Let's go. Whatever.
He's gonna be another Sun Fighter. Right?
What's up with his characters, bro? It seems like they're the same every fucking month.
What?
Well, Sephiroth is like
no, but like when it comes to like that kind of same like the sword fighter, like the one that has sword.
Yeah,
he's not the same
I'll say this: it's Sephiroth. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we all knew it had to be iconic characters, so Sephiroth was gonna be one of them.
You know the crazy thing is, he ain't even the main villain.
Not technically, no, but he has taken that role over the years.
Yeah, because because in Advent Children, they pretty much made him like the rival to Cloud.
This is Advent Children Sephiroth. That's
no. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like in the original game, he wasn't even the main villain.
Yeah,
Not
technically until the end.
It wasn't until like people realized how good of a character he was that they were just this guy's the greatest, and it became Cloud and Sephiroth versus
pretty much
just Cloud versus giant corporations and aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's essentially what happened.
Whatever, another character. Let's go.
Yeah, great character.
Yeah, amazing.
Another
character.
character that I'm not gonna support because I'm against Nintendo now. So it's okay.
You've never liked
Okay,
it.
well, I'm for Nintendo, so
Oh my god! See,
I
this
You're
is
always
what
for
that's
Nintendo.
wrong with the
I have
community.
stocks in Nintendo,
They're a
so I
bunch of
have
like
to.
dick riders,
yeah,
bro.
I mean that's the thing, right? It's like don't get me wrong, I like video
You
games, but I like
dick
money.
rider, you dick rider. Okay, whatever.
I mean, would you dick ride for $1 million,
Bro, you're not getting any, bro. You're not getting anything,
I answered the question, right?
bro. You're not getting the million. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, there you go. Right.
So that's to say.
I asked the question, man. You gotta answer the question.
But when you answer the
I asked
question,
you a question. I asked you
what
a
kind of
question.
stupid question is
You
that?
sell out.
I'm not a sellout. You're not a sellout either.
Okay, but what you doing for $1 million?
You're doing it for free, literally.
Oh, there we go.
You're
There we
doing
go.
it for free. So
It takes 2 seconds, man. Yes
no,
or no?
Ken, look, it depends.
Oh, exactly.
No,
Wow.
okay. Right, let's move on for the
Look, if
next shit.
Nintendo told me, and let's say if I
Everybody
was,
has
I
a
was the
number.
only a
Everybody
Nintendo
has a
only
number.
streamer, and they told me shut your YouTube channel down. Here's 3 million. I will take that 3
Yeah,
million.
yeah.
down.
Hold
Bro,
on.
I would change the name to. I would change the name of my channel to #sellout and cut it.
yeah.
Easy clap. Right there.
Imagine we should do something like that where like Nintendo has to come to us to cancel out.
No, they're just gonna DMC us. They don't give a fuck. They gonna send some bitches
Yeah,
at
we
us.
don't have power in that situation.
What's up?
Me and PewDiePie.
What's up with Perfect Dark Zero?
Okay, so we did Cyberpunk. We go back to the beginning of the stream. And then, so Perfect Dark
Oh my
actually has
God,
another
yo.
game after what,
Yo.
15 years?
Finally, bro. Yo, I've been asking for a Perfect Dark game since that trash ass Perfect Dark Zero. Oh my God, it's about fucking time. Now, I don't know if it's a remake or if it's a completely new fucking game.
I think it's a reboot. But here's the
Yeah,
thing.
I
It
think
better
it
be a
might be
I don't mind a reboot either. But goddamn, thank you. Can Jesus.
So
Thank you.
that's 2 games from the 2000s we're looking forward to, which is Perfect Dark, okay, and
Can I get my Conquer?
Beyond Good and Evil.
Can I get my
My
Conquer?
Conquer. Yeah,
Bro,
right.
can I get my Conquer that's not in fucking whatever that game was?
Dream?
Project Spark?
That was Conquer Spark.
No. Don't disrespect Conquer like that.
Wait, who's making this game?
Perfect Dark. Have any of you guys played Perfect Dark ever?
I have.
Yeah.
No.
Anybody else?
No,
I didn't
no.
expect you to.
I mean, I did.
Wait, what game is this? I never. First time I hear
How
about
do you
it.
feel about it, Andres?
Weapon?
How do you feel about Perfect Dark, Andres?
It's weird too because when I was seeing the trailer, I thought it was gonna be a completely different game, and then I saw Angela, and then I was just like, what? So, I just want to see what they do with the game. I'm very, like, they already fucked up with Zero, and so like, and you just kind of like want them to like live up to what Perfect Dark was like really was supposed to be. So like, I just hope they don't fuck up the world, and just fuck up the narrative of the story. And I just hope also like the mechanics work so well in that game that hopefully that in this game, like especially in this new generational, that it'll work just as good. And it doesn't have to be a like like in the trailer and it shows like a huge landscape. It doesn't have to be an open world. Just give me a good linear fucking story.
This is gonna be the actual first Perfect Dark with the modern controller scheme, right?
Right.
Yes.
And so it's like, yeah. I mean,
do you want to count the 360 one?
oh, that was Zero, huh?
Yeah, that was Zero.
I thought that came out on the Duke.
Nah, it was 360.
Okay, so it's not the first one on a modern controller scheme then. But yeah, I mean the Perfect Dark on the 64 was good.
Yeah, I love that fucking game.
Perfect Dark Zero was not good.
Yeah, that game was garbage, bro.
And people were wondering why they redesigned the character too, which is why I put the 2 up there. But yeah, it was a pretty good game. I remember I have fond memories of it on the 64. I just hope, like you said, I hope it's like it does. They do it justice. Oh, but yeah. I don't really mind if they take some liberties with it because I remember when they had the Beyond Good and Evil trailer, they showed what's her name? I always forget her name. The main character.
Yeah.
Jade.
Yeah, Jade. There you go. They showed her on the side of the bad guy, and that was pretty.
Right.
That was pretty interesting.
But
Uh,
but beyond, well, that game was supposed to be a continuation. It wasn't even a reboot. So
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it just,
I just hope Game Pass enables more of this. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like because essentially with Game Pass, the good games are subsidizing the bad games, or the popular games are subsidizing the non-popular games, I should say. And so if this game turned out not to be that popular because it is 15 years old and most people didn't play it, at least it's nice to have it there for the people who do play it. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean, marketing is a huge thing. So if they market the hell out of this and they make it, look like they make it look appealing, then then it could do well.
Right.
All they need is the marketing.
Right. Which they're
I
not going
just
to
feel
do.
like they fucked up.
I think they are because Microsoft's been on point with their marketing of their games as of so far. So we'll see.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna put something brand new to them, get to the game. But
I thought you have to.
Wait, who's making the game?
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be-
Hopefully Rare, but
It's
it
the same-
doesn't matter at the end of the day because it's not the same team.
No.
I don't think it's rare, but it was supposed to be the same team who made Zero.
Oh, okay.
right.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, let's move on with that. With those news at the end, we have to move on.
But it's
Hopefully
been
they
a,
learn.
it's been a lot of
Yeah.
years. Man.
Yeah.
Hopefully they
That's
learn.
true. That's true.
But you know
Could
how
make-
it
could
is.
make a bad
Don't
game into a
But
game
you know how it
later,
is. You know how it is.
Right.
Look at Killzone. No.
Okay.
like a gorilla, right?
Let's move on to TCG. What's wrong?
That's true. Yeah.
TCL.
TCG.
So you see this these cars, right?
Right.
What do you see stamped on it? Anybody?
Sun and Moon Guardians Rising.
What else do you
What
see?
else?
What else?
Stage
Staff.
staff.
Exactly, staff. So what staff cards are in Pokemon is that if you are a judge or a host of an event of a Pokemon event, you're supposed to get these as rewards. Now, what happened is people or the stores a lot of times don't give them out as rewards. They scalp them, okay? And because they're scalping them, Nintendo is actually stopping them. They're not going to print them anymore. They're not going to give them as rewards anymore.
Crazy.
Yeah, and so the Sun and Moon staff promos, I think by June of next year, are going to be gone. And if you go online, a lot of staff promos are going for $8, $9, $1,000. And it's just sad thing to go since they introduced it in I think 2007, 8.
Right. It's been a long
minute,
time.
right?
Yeah.
So people are looking for what is going to be the next staff reward, so people can get something instead of just doing it for free. But the the promos they give out at Worlds for staff are still going to be there, but the staff they give out to stores is not going to be there.
Right.
So how do you feel about this, Andres?
Doesn't matter for him because he steals them anyway.
Cool.
I'm kidding.
I don't know because I never. It's weird. I've never been into like. I've always like getting like the rare cards, but like staff's never been the ones that intrigue me because they've always been like sometimes way overpriced. Like I remember, and now I regret it. Maybe like a few years back, I saw a Charizard staff card, but it was like the base set one.
Yeah.
But it obviously wasn't base set, right? It was a reprint of the base set.
Yeah,
and it was and it had the hot stamp of staff on it, and I could have, and they wanted like $250 at the time, and we're talking about years ago.
Nice.
And I skipped out on it, and it's like now like a shitload of money. So I don't know, and I feel like I don't mind it as long as it's still a reward in tournaments. But like the people that hold tournaments like in an official capacity, right?
Yeah.
But like when
they stopped it because those are the people scalping it. a lot of the time.
No. I'm not talking about like store tournaments. I'm talking about like the official
Nintendo.
Pokemon tournaments.
No.
Yeah.
Nintendo official tournaments, they're gonna still have.
Yeah,
the
which
staff level.
I don't mind because I know that takes so much time and effort and all that. But I don't really care about the stores because stores don't even honor that sometimes. The stores will hold it on to themselves and sell it and at a higher price, knowing that they can fetch it at a higher price. So I don't again, I've always seen that, and that's why I don't mind if it goes away as long as it's still at an official tournament capacity. Because then that feels like those people that actually go and officiate in a tournament and whatnot, like those are the people that actually deserve it because they took the time and they're volunteers, right? And they took the time to actually be there and officiate like hundreds and hundreds of people and in sections. Like, I mean, at least you can get a fucking staff card, right? So I don't mind that, and it'll like kind of like take away a bit of the market of like them hawking it at stores, but it also is going to up the price to any other staff card that has been already out there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree.
So it's gonna be, and because of that, it's gonna become a rare thing because now a lot of collectors are gonna try and buy them.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think this is the best move they could do, especially now because everyone is trying to like be a Pokemon investor for some reason.
Right.
A lot of people are buying it.
Yeah. People are just gonna keep scalping like literally everything that they can find of Pokemon. Not realizing that being paper, you could just print it again.
It's been a lot of streamers buying that.
Right, and so I think it was wise for them to cancel it. I mean, they should give. First of all, they should be paying these judges. Well, no, like they need to be paying them. But the second thing is, a lot of times, these people show up of their own free will. They learn this stuff because you actually have to go through like a small little certification to become like a judge for Pokemon. They do that. They go to these stores. They support these events, and then they get nothing in return. They get to accept this card from Nintendo, but then even the store might not even give that to them either. So it's like, what's the point? Like, what's like it can really hurt the community in the long run if they let them keep doing it. But the question is, like I said before, what are they going to give them in return?
But yeah, sometimes those staff cards are the payment. Like if you think about a lot of those people that sell them, I know people that like out the gate they'll sell them, for $500, and they'll make those $500. I mean, for one day I made $500, and sometimes the staff cards they make copies of the championship cards to staff.
Yeah,
and they sell those for how much? Like a cool $1,500. I made $1,500 in one fucking day of officiating an event. So it's just like.
I don't think it's a problem if the ones who deserve they got them and they sell it.
right.
I find it's a problem when the store themselves are holding it off and you want to sell them.
Right.
And they do that.
Yeah,
they
because
don't even sell shit at MSRP anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's another thing that it happened with Dragon Ball Super a lot. It might even happen with the new Digimon card game. Is that the Dragon Ball Super, whenever you buy a box, you're supposed to get like a dash pack. Like that has like one card in it. A lot of stores, they're like, oh, we don't give away the dash packs. It's like, you're supposed to. Like, you're supposed to give the dash packs with the box.
You buy a booster box, right?
Right. And so they'll say, no, we don't give the dash packs. And they'll like sell the dash packs on the side, or they'll hook their friends up and give it to them, like give them like 4 or 5 when they're not supposed to. Stuff like that, and it's really crazy. And I understand these stores have to stay in business, but it's like you shouldn't be hurting the consumer and the community by doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you do that, all they're gonna do is just go to another locals.
Right, essentially. But sometimes that's the only local you got.
It's stupid because they're hurting themselves in the long term, but whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. They want to get rich quick.
Yeah, they could just run their own.
Yeah, because there are a few bucks. They're like, you know what? Because like if you're that one seller or that store that keeps a promise of something or giving out to consumers what they deserve, what they really bought. Actually, in the long term, it will benefit them economically because people will say, oh, I trust that store to give me
Right.
what I actually am buying. So they will stay on business, and they'll have a good relationship with their consumers and whatnot, and probably might get rewarded by the actual people who are selling the stuff. The actual producers.
Yeah.
But people do this in the short term for a few bucks more. But whatever, is it worth it? Maybe those people will find out soon. Anyways, what else we got
Right
now?
on.
So what?
That's
What
it for TCG.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we got movies right here. Obviously, we did talk about
I
HBO
don't even care
Max.
about Nolan. We can move on.
Look. No. This the only reason why I have this in here, and why I brought it up is because we did talk about it for a good amount of time last time, where we were speaking about what was going to be the outcome for theaters. Now the HBO Max was going to release all these movies, right? But what happened is that the whole, I guess, directors union has come and started and decided to come and protest Time Warner. I mean, not Time Warner, but Warner Bros. Studios and AT&T as well as HBO Max. And what's going on over here is that if one union starts doing this, guess what? The writers union is gonna come follow, the actors union, and everyone's gonna come together and say, "Fuck this! What HBO Max is doing with Warner Studios." Because essentially they feel betrayed by the studios.
Betrayed?
Yeah.
Yo, they got paid.
No. That's the problem. That's essentially comes down to money, because the thing is they're getting paid based on the release on theaters, not based on what Warner Bros is doing with HBO Max. Because the only people who got paid. Wait, hold up. Hold up. The only people who got paid in advance, the only people who they sat down and actually did a deal with was with with the director. No, hold up. The only people who did it was with the no, hold on. Yeah, there you go. Was the actress of Wonder Woman, who was Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot.
That's what I just said, bro.
No. The thing is, you're saying all actors.
Just Gal Gadot.
No, just Gal Gadot
Gal Gadot.
and Patty Jenkins, who's the director of Wonder Woman. Those are the only two people they sat down with, and they guaranteed $10 million each.
Oh
right?
my god!
So because they said, look, we're estimating. Like they estimated for Wonder Woman, the second movie, to make $1 million in the box office. So based on those numbers alone, they gave him $10 million each. So all these directors are like, okay, you're doing this deal with them. What about us? Did you sit down with us and say, let's renegotiate the deal? Because you're essentially putting all our work, especially for all these directors and producers who are working for 3 years, 5 years to make a movie. Like in this case, Dunn will be one of them, right? What about us that we've been working for many years, and you have already done a deal with us, and now you just said, you know what, we're gonna grab your work and your movie, and we're gonna use it to save our asses, based on the fact that HBO Max is doing poorly, and we had to compete against Disney Plus and Netflix, and for us not to be left in the back, or not being part of the deal that everyone's doing, which is streaming services or whatnot. We're gonna use your work, and we're not gonna compensate you at all, because it's no longer being released on theaters. Therefore, we don't have to give you money based on the contract. We agree with you. So
that's bullshit.
So that's what is going on. That's all the directors.
They are coming out in theaters.
No. That's the problem. The thing is, because they said by the time it comes to theaters, guess what? Most people already have seen it in HBO Max, and also will see it in pirate. Right. So they said, dude, bro. Yes, most directors, they don't like the idea that they're moving to streaming services, because they have their own opinions about it. But it mainly comes down to the contracts they have with Warner Brothers, and that's not just directors, actors, The people who are getting caught, the agents, the union. That's why all the unions, the agencies, the actors, the writers, the directors, the producers, they all coming together and say, "Fuck this, we're not gonna do this." And
but here's the thing, right? And this is the thing about this situation. COVID exists, right? Like there's not like a choice, because at the end of the day, I don't think I think they're right, but I think they need to tread this very carefully, and this is why, right? If they're saying we want our movie released in theaters, you know what Warner Brothers can do? Okay, cool. We're releasing in theaters right now. Oh, look at that! It made $30 million. That's how much you can pay. You get what I'm saying? Like they can do that.
okay,
right?
the thing is, the problem is that they're doing the big guy move, which is, look, we're the studios, and we're gonna do a power move against you, which is we're gonna take your work to save our asses, economically speaking, for the future, because we had to compete against Netflix and Disney Plus, and fuck you, right? And they could do it. They could do it. They could do it right now. But I'm just saying.
But see, think of it like this, right? This is what I was telling you just now, right? So you're right. They're doing that right now, but but remember, these companies have marketing, they have lawyers, they have all these people who could get around it, right? You say, okay, you want our movie released in theater? Okay, cool. I'm gonna release it right now in theaters, right? Okay, cool. It had a 6-week one. Now I'm gonna put it on HBO Max. 90% of people are still gonna go watch it on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, but so this is what's going on, all right? So what all these directors who are finding this out by by reading newspapers online and whatnot, because most of them were not contacted. Most of the producers, actors, the agencies, most of the directors who work on these projects, they didn't tell me anything. They just heard about their movies were gonna be released on HBO Max. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean they're gonna be released on HBO Max?
I know, I get the idea.
So that is going on, right? That is going on, and obviously they don't like it because they're not getting paid at all. Even if they release an HBO Max right now, they're not gonna get paid. No one's getting paid. The actors, the agencies, the unions, the directors, they're not getting the incentives that we'll get if it is released in theaters per se.
Yeah.
Right.
No. I'm saying they deserve to get paid. Right.
So that's the problem. They're not gonna get paid.
No, I think the problem is not only that, but I think an extension of the problem is that they don't know how much they should get paid.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that they have not sat down with the studios. Don't want to sit down with them and negotiate.
But the thing is, are those people going to take accepted negotiations? I remember reading a story about something similar, where they offered a certain amount of money to a movie. It wasn't the Godzilla vs. Kong, but they offered a certain amount of money, and the guy was like, "No, that's not how much money my movie's going to make." Because at the end of the day, it's like you said, they estimated that Wonder Woman 1984 was going to make $1 billion at the box office. It could not make that much. It could make twice that much. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's variables there that they can't control.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I said. It all comes down to numbers. It all comes down to money. So, for example, like if you move the slide to the other one. Okay, so this is Denis Villeneuve, who happens to be a French director, and has done Sicario, Rival, Blade Runner 2019, and now he's doing Dune. Was gonna be released on HBO Max. On Dune, no, Dune. Yeah, Dune. Okay, so Dune. Go move on to the next slide. So this is what literally he said, right? That he learned the news that was coming out, right? He learned it through reading it online, right? And then he said that it was a grotesque move or a power move by AT&T. And he said that the only reason why they're doing it is to save their astronomical debt of more than 150 billion. Can I hear myself in my mic? There you go. Therefore, they say that obviously AT&T is doing this for a Wall Street or for economic reasons. But what he didn't know was, okay, these two people down below, you see here, they're the people who are head of Warner Bros. Right now. Yeah. Right, this is the chief of staff, the lady, and this is the guy who's running the whole thing. most directors and actors and whatever, they all thought it was AT&T who did this power move because they want to save their assets for HBO Max or whatever. But what they didn't realize, it was these two people who brought up the plan. These two, the people who are head of Warner Brothers, who supposed to have the back of directors and all the projects they've done. These people who created that plan and brought it to AT&T, and they said, "Look, we see what's going on, and if we want you to release all these movies that we have, don't worry about the directors. They're gonna be pissed. The actors are gonna be pissed. Fuck them. Fuck them." I'm sure they're gonna say that they're not gonna want to work with us anymore. We're gonna break a lot of relationships right here, but trust me, it's better for us to make this move right now to save to save Warner Bros. And to save AT&T and to save HBO and make HBO what it's supposed to have, what it's supposed to be, because in the long term we're gonna be better. So this director, who obviously came up with this huge what's it called, tabloid or whatever, who wrote this about AT&T, now is learning that it was actually the people who on top of the Warner Studios who made that deal with AT&T. So they're essentially saying, okay, so you're willing to destroy our relationship or in our working relationship with Warner Studios or whatever for to save HBO or just to save AT&T and HBO, just because you wanna be the guy who's like in the future, oh, I saved HBO Max. I was the guy I'm the pioneer. And this lady find out that if she did jump in the train, she was gonna be left alone, or she was gonna left behind. So she jumped in with him. So what's going on is that all the actors and directors, they're talking to their lawyers, and essentially they're finding out that they're gonna get fucked financially. Because there's no way, meaning if they don't have a negotiation right now with the studios to get any money, they're not gonna get anything. Because like you said, there's nothing to measure how much the movie's gonna make. So even Danny right here is saying, look, if we move on into streaming services, big budget movies like mine, like Dune, it will no longer exist in the future because
that's I think
because the thing is that's his opinion, but at the same time he's saying it because now it's wonderful that we're moving to streaming. It's wonderful that we're having more projects. It's that there's gonna be less money to give because now people are gonna they're gonna just be satisfied with less. And big.
I don't know about that one.
I think there lies the problem. I think there lies the problem. There's nothing wrong with people being satisfied with less. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's an opinion from the director.
Of course. But the thing is that it's like I said, like you're right going forward, but even if the theaters were open like normal, everything was already going that way. Right? Right now they just have someone to blame, and that's WB. But in 10, 15 years, then what? You know what I mean? Like then when it's for sure gonna happen and everyone's like, okay, well, we're just gonna, consume what's on streaming, then what? What is he gonna say? You know what I'm saying? This is one of those things where it's just like the coronavirus have put everyone in a situation, and WB took advantage of it, right? They're saying, hey, we could just take a whole movie slate and put on there. But at the same time, they could always call their bluff. This is what I was talking about. They could just call their bluff. You want to have a strike? Okay, cool, fantastic. We'll put your movies out. And then when they end up making $3 million at the box office, then what? Are they going to complain about that? We didn't make enough money. It's not my fault.
That's the problem. I know what you're saying, and then it's 100% true. That's what they know. That's what they know. That's what they're trying to make this whole deal about. Oh, you want to come against us? You don't have to come with the whole unions. They know the writers' union, the directors' union, the actors' union. And then if we do that, then that's what I'm saying. I mean, if we do that, then who are you gonna work with, Nate? Who are you gonna work with? Because we are the ones who make the project. We are the ones who go out there and make these movies. It's not you. So, are you willing to sacrifice all this relationship you already built for the sake of just putting these movies in there and not giving, because essentially what it is that you have not negotiated how much you had to pay them. You only did that with fucking Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins. That's it. And it's like, how dare you not to do the same with us? So it's all about money, right? It comes down to money, right? It's all comes down to like, we're not getting anything, and there's a lot of us who are not getting anything. A lot of these people, a lot of these actors, a lot of these people are not getting anything. Therefore, right now they're all like all freaking out. So you say, are you willing to just destroy all of this you've done? Because best believe we're not gonna work with you. And that's essentially, that's their, like, I guess that's the kind of move they're doing. They're like, we're not gonna work with you anymore if you do this. So, I mean, yeah, you say you could release them right now and make no money, but at the same time, you know they're gonna be pissed about it too as well.
Right, exactly, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Is just that it's just like I understand where they're coming from,
Yeah,
but it's just like with this year being this year, it was just this is gonna fall on deaf ears. Like especially because the industry it is, because it feels more like they're trying to like save the fat paycheck versus saving the movie, if that makes sense.
but even then, like let's say they do negotiate. Let's say they use. You're right. Obviously, we're moving towards streaming services. All the movies gonna come down to being released on that platform one day or later, right? Sooner or later. But the thing is, the fact that look, if they want to release it, fine. Sit down and negotiate with these people.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It seems more like because it's like what you just said, right? You said that it's not going to be enough money to go around, and it's just like, how much is enough money? You get what I'm saying? It's like it seems like they want to preserve like their $10 million paycheck.
But the thing is, they don't want to $10 million. I'm sure they just want something, like negotiate a deal. How they have to like sit down and see, okay, how can we measure how much we're gonna get paid?
Yeah.
And then if you're gonna make that jump, all right, let's do that. Let's now sit down and start seeing how we could make a deal for the future now, because we can use the same template for future projects. Oh, you want to release it on a streaming service? Cool, fine. Let's deal that, and let's use this template that we used last time. But they don't want to do that. They just want to. They just go ahead. Go ahead.
What I've been hearing and from you both is that there is a template, right? And there is someone that's already been doing it. I mean, and it like with Danny Denevue has said.
Oh yeah, your internet's going out.
If you go to streaming, it won't work anymore, right? Look at fucking how much money did they spend in Bray, you know?
Yeah.
And it shows that they can make these big budget ass fucking movies and put it on streaming services. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a fucking theater. So it goes to show as well that Netflix has the template of putting this on a streaming service and being able to pay all their actors and crew. So it's just that now WB is making a move, but they don't have the tools, or they weren't ready for the adaptability of having to pay everyone now because of the backtrack of coronavirus, right?
Right.
So now they have to, in order for them to save the company, because again, if they don't save their company, and this is the only moves that they have that they see that's foreseeable to save their own company, then all these directors and actors wouldn't have any. They would have a huge ass studio altogether closed, and now they would have to be scrambling for new work. Imagine WB under that umbrella, how many employees are employed by them? And then for them to just like, all right, well, there's no more WB. Now where all these people are going to go work? And it's already hard enough getting into those positions in this day and age. And for them to go to another studio is going to be hard enough. So for them, they just need to find a way where they can implement the same template that Netflix already has been having established. And they got to implement it in Warner Brothers. But we're not gonna see this year. We're not gonna see this next year. We're probably gonna see this down like in 2022 when they already have all this template implemented into streaming.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, I think it's like that. I think the question is how much they get paid, right? Because
Right.
it's like when you estimate like that, it's you have a question of is the estimate correct? It's like Ray said, right? They expected Wonder Woman to make $1 billion at the box office,
Oh yeah.
right? So they got $10 million each, which is like what 1%, right? 1% of $1 billion, yeah, 1% of 10 million, right?
Mhm.
And so if you take a look at what's the name, this dude up here, Ray.
Danny
Danny Villeneuve.
Okay, so what would you say his biggest movie?
Dune.
Right now, supposedly, according to him, is Dune. Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
Dune.
Before
No.
Dune is
It's 'cause
It's
he made the
Blade
original
Runner. Is
Dune.
Blade Runner.
Oh, the original Dune? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say that he did
Blade Runner 2049.
yeah, I was thinking about maybe Blade Runner 2049. And so you go to Blade Runner, right? That movie didn't even make $300 million at the box office.
No.
Right? You had Sicario, it didn't even break 100 million, right? So if this movie is making $1 billion, he's gonna get paid 10 million. If I go to Dennis, I don't know his last name, is he gonna
Danny
take?
Villeneuve.
Yeah, so assuming that his movies on an average about 100 million, is he gonna take $1 million as payment?
I'm sure for nothing.
But would he do it, or would he say like, "Oh,
For
I
nothing.
made this many movies, I deserve more"?
I
You see what I'm
mean,
saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like
that's the
but
question I'm asking.
you have to sit down. The thing, the problem is that the fact that they saw how they sat down and negotiated with the people of
No, I know, but the
Woman.
question is, will they accept the negotiation?
Yeah, I'm sure they
what I
will
asked.
because they understand that they're under special occasions when it comes to like COVID and all these things, people being out of work. They understand what they're going through. They just did it. They just
I'm
did.
not sure they do because, like you said, he was saying that if it moves,
I think it's not. It's just like they just hate the idea of how much of a power move AT&T is doing with Bronner Studios of not even sitting down and telling them, look, we're gonna grab your project, which is Dune or whatever movie you have done, and we're gonna put it in HBO Max so everyone can see it on December 25th, whatever. And I said, okay, cool, you're gonna do that. And we understand we're going through COVID-19. You understand you have your own personal reasons, HBO Max. You want to compete against Netflix. Cool. Now let's sit down and negotiate how much you guys willing to compensate us based on what? The future numbers or something like that? Or you're gonna want to meet it or whatever whatever. How do you gonna measure how much you want to compensate? They right now they're just pissed that all their projects were taken away without without telling them or without asking them. They just had to find out by reading an article online that their fucking project was taken away. It's gonna be released a couple days from now.
But again, Ray, you're forgetting, like, you're going back to the point of like, oh, how much are they gonna make if they already take that away through streaming? But again, even till now, Netflix still doesn't release their numbers on how much people go and flock to see a certain movie on their streaming service. It's really to themselves.
That's what I'm saying. Like the thing is, the problem here, the problem here is that they didn't even sit down and tell them that. They didn't even sit down and tell them, look, this is what we're gonna do.
Right.
Let's talk about this, because everyone in the industry,
you have to understand they're in their right to do it because they're I mean, it's their company, and it's like me telling that company, hey, you need to do this because it is to my benefit.
No, the thing is
that the company's
that's the major issue right here, is that they're doing it in that way, and that, like, they're using the power to say, you know what, I'm on top of you. This is my shit. I'm not gonna consult you. I'm not gonna ask you. And I'm
So
still
I have a question.
based.
Did they pay the directors while they were making the movie?
I think so. Yeah.
They would have to,
Yeah.
because
What's the
when they
problem?
scalp directors,
No. I think
they have to pay
the
them.
thing is, look.
When they scalp
okay,
actors, they have to make a contract and pay them.
This is how it is. Look, and then it's incredible that I just fucking went through a fucking class of this a whole semester. Based on what I understood from the class, this is how it is. You obviously you get paid by incentives. Most of their checks from the directors and actors comes from the incentives afterwards, after the movie's release.
Okay, that's true.
All right,
Yeah.
so they said okay, fine, and all their contracts, producers, directors, and actors, is based on that. So let's say, okay, so you negotiated this contract based on release on theaters. So we did all this work for 3 years to have this well-surrounded experience when you go to theater and watch our project or this movie. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
But they weren't foretold that coronavirus was going to
So okay, so yeah. Okay, so now this is going on. Okay, are you gonna sit down with us and tell us, look, we're doing this because of this, right? And all your contracts that you guys have already previously negotiated for is gonna be changed. If we wanna sit, that's what we're sitting down to see what kind of negotiation we're gonna come down to, and that's respect in a respectful way. And I'm sure they would have thought about it, and they would have negotiated something, and then they would have end up releasing the movies on HBO Max. But the problem is that AT&T and HBO said, you know what, all the movies. I know actually Warner Bros. Came in. These two people on the top came in. It's like, we have all this catalog for the next year. We're willing to give all that catalog to you guys, or AT&T and HBO Max, to release it on your platform so you could save HBO Max. Because we see the shitty numbers, and we see that you being left behind by Netflix and Disney Plus, and I'm willing to sacrifice my whole catalog of movies to save your platform. And they say, "Oh shit, cool." Then obviously Warner Brothers like, okay,
it has more to do with the studio rather than HBO Max, right? Like HBO Max is just a platform.
No, it's a platform. It was AT&T, but AT&T are the
Warner Brothers.
AT&T owner.
Warner Brothers.
AT&T owns Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So what's going on is that they thought, all the directors at the beginning, they thought it was a power move by AT&T because they own it, right? But they find out it was actually the producers, the main two producers and director of Warner Bros. Who said, "Oh, we're gonna grab your thing, and we're gonna plan it to AT&T." And AT&T said, "Ah, that's a great deal. I'll take it." Right? Because it was gonna serve me, because I was gonna serve my platform that is failing, and it's gonna do me numbers in Wall Street. Right? AT&T stock is not gonna come down.
Right.
So,
but you remember, it is also their saving grace that they're taking these movies to their streaming platform, because you have to understand also Warner Brother encompasses all of a whole movie division. And if they can't show these movies in theaters, then what the fuck are we going to do with these movies? We're just going to have them up and keep delaying them until the next years, until who knows when this shit is over? No, we're going to put them in these
that's not the problem. The problem is not that they're not going to put them in the platform. The problem is that they did not sit down and negotiate it beforehand, and now it has created this huge problem between the industry and the studios. So people are like, say, okay, you're gonna do that, fine. Take our shit, take our years of work and our planning and work. And no, we're not gonna work with you anymore. You could take it. So the problem is like, what's gonna happen for the future? Are people gonna rebel and say, I'm gonna go work somewhere else? Because all these people are like, they had contracts with Warner Studios, but essentially now that they're breaking it, they could just go on somewhere else and work. And the Warner Studios is gonna be, oh fuck, now who we're gonna work with? Because the entire industry is like blackmailing us, or in this case, what's it called? Blacklisting us.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Like, you cannot go against the union industry, right?
No, I don't know, man. I think this is one of those things where it's just like,
They're rich before the
I mean, I'm not on one side or the other. I'm just saying to you what's going on. and how these people are feeling. So
I think it's
we'll
just
see.
too much of a slippery slope, right? On
I mean,
either end.
I wouldn't even say slippery slope. I just think that for this particular year to not accept or really be against what Warner Bros is doing, it'll put a bad spot on your craft, because it's like I said, is if you go out there knowing that the theaters are closed, knowing that people can't go to theaters, and yet you're like so hard on trying to get the paycheck, you're like, nah, fuck that, like put it in theaters, blah blah, like that's not fair. You should have told us. It's like it becomes one of those things where it's just like you should have known this is going to be the case because of the extenuating circumstances. Like this was something that was going to happen
Now
because
there's gonna
it
be a
needed
lot
to
of
happen.
trust between
Yeah, the
both
thing is,
parties.
the problem is like, look, it's not like I'm sure they had an idea about it. I'm sure and then I'm sure most of them, being all heads of movie, nerds of movies, they prefer their fucking movies to come out in theaters because it was meant to be that way, and it was made to be that way because essentially all the surround system, all the work they put in behind the scenes, so that in a big screen could look a certain way and it could feel a certain way. They want
Right,
to, and it,
but
obviously,
you
not.
have to remember, like, and like we had a whole podcast talking about it last time, and how theaters and the future is just gonna be a niche thing, and we're going of the way of the streaming service, and something that coronavirus has done is shown that a lot of companies have had to adapt and show adaptability, and what coronavirus has done has basically leaped that process of adaptability into the now, and people are just, Netflix was already on the jump, and just everyone else was behind. Now everybody has to get on the jump and get on the same boat, and adapt to what already other streaming services were doing.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, most of the projects that you've seen in Netflix, Hulu, Amazon and whatnot, all these projects was already pre-designed and made for those platforms. You get me?
Right. But
So
to, like,
and
again,
then the
there's
negotiation.
the example
So when
of Bright, which is a was supposed to be also a theatrical
yeah, that's
experience,
what I brought
which
up.
was also
Uh-huh.
shown in theaters, but also done in a
Yeah,
streaming
yeah.
service.
Look, this is what I brought up, the Wonder Woman deal.
Right.
Right now, look,
But
all of a sudden they changed their mind. They said, "Look, we're gonna release it on December 25th, and it's gonna be like that." But the problem is, the main key thing is here is that they sat down with the director and the actors, and they said, "Look, we're gonna do this." And
But
they
you also have to also remember, Ray,
Uh-huh.
like with the Wonder Woman example, the Wonder Woman is only a limited release on that streaming services. So it's only for what, I think a month, and then they take it off. And then what's gonna happen, Ray? They're also in that same mindset. It's being released in theaters, just not everywhere, but it's released rest of the world in theaters. And once that the limited service is done on HBO Max, what's next? DVDs, places where you can go and buy the movie.
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem here is that you don't get in it. It's the fact that they negotiated for that. They
right,
sat
but
down
again, that's where they can also do reparations and put back money into that.
I don't think they're gonna get negotiated in the way they're gonna like either way. Yeah, like I said, I mean, my beliefs. Ray didn't really put his beliefs out there. He's just telling the news. But like I said, they're pissed about the negotiation not happening, not the fact they're not getting paid. I think it's going to extend it to the fact they're not getting paid. But that's just me. I think we should move on now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure what's going to happen here is that they're going to get thrown under the bus. And yeah, because look, it's a power move, and it's a huge move, which is necessary for them to survive. And also, these two people obviously doing a power move for themselves because they're gonna say, "Oh, we know where the boat direction of the boat is going. We're gonna jump out ahead, and we're not gonna tell anybody."
I don't even think it was really a power move. I think it was just an act of convenience. I mean,
no, that's what I mean. But these people didn't sit down with the rest of the other people and told them, "Oh, this is what we're gonna do with your projects," and just
I
like
know,
they just did
I
it behind the
I just think
scenes.
it's an act of convenience because it's like I said. Otherwise, they could just shelve the movie. Be like, whoops, it just didn't. We couldn't release it
Yeah,
because
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's a power move. These people are gonna be thrown on the bus, and then I will see what happens afterwards. Right? I'm sure this not gonna be there's gonna be an outgoing problem. Watch, it's not gonna be solved right away.
It comes to exactly what Ken says. It's better for these movies to be released and then not to be released, right? And to be shelved, like
We will
a
see what
shitload
happens this week.
of
Though.
other movies that have
Look,
never been released
I have
and
I'm
shelved.
being a filmmaker myself. I mean, studying whatever. I barely go to the fucking theater. The most of the time that I go to the theater is with you guys.
What?
Yeah, and then when you go, you sleep.
Yeah, and when I go, I fall asleep. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a big, I'm not a big old head like the most of people are, but because I accept the future. I accept what's going on. I accept what is next, and most people should be accepting that. It's a reality, but at the same time, like the way this is the transition, the transition, the progress of this is not. It's not obviously. It's all messy. It shouldn't be. It should have been that way. It should have been that way.
It exposed the issue with that kind of pay structure. It's like if there's no theaters, then why are you basing off theaters? Like it should never be that kind of It shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, like the restructuration of deals is gonna have to change, obviously. But that's the problem. They didn't sit down and make those changes. They just like what, we'll skip that shit, and they just like force them to accept the fucking reality. And it is what it is. You get me? Fuck them. And if they want to work with us, cool. If not, then peace, bitch. You get me? That's what it is. All right. What's next? We got the Sonic here.
Yeah. So this is Netflix is making a 3D Sonic movie.
You guys said that they canceled something.
No, they didn't cancel.
Oh, Ruin was saying, "Oh, they canceled Sonic."
I didn't say it was canceled.
Sonic Boom was canceled or something.
Yeah, so either way, they're making a 3D series for Sonic the Hedgehog. Do you think it's gonna be like the movie, or do you think it's gonna be like a whole new?
It's gonna be like the YouTube video.
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like the animated series, where but it's gonna be 3D rendered.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny, I don't know if you guys seen the YouTube video you sent me when the whole console wars.
Yeah.
The people who do those kind of animations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how like you've seen the Sonic episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the kind of animation I'm waiting for.
All I hear is Ken going, yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, so let's go to the Disney buff.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this is Disney Investor Day.
Yeah,
yesterday as well. And they pretty much revealed that they are releasing
Number to Josh.
52 things. They are releasing 52 different shows on Disney Plus.
Yeah, then they're gonna release the most important.
Yeah, it's in response to
HBO Max and the movies. They're gonna.
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about Black Widow, but they're gonna release Black Widow there.
Yeah, so what it was supposed to be is like all the things they announced. It's a lot. Okay,
it's a lot.
All the things that they announced. I think
it's a huge amount.
It's what?
It's a huge amount.
It is Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like WandaVision, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, What If, Ironheart,
Change the slides.
With the Armor Wars.
Change the slides.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion. Yeah, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel. A lot of stuff.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of Star Wars.
And now you have Star Wars shows,
Marvel stuff.
Yeah, Star Wars Andor. Ashoka is supposed to get her own show.
Yeah.
Bad Batch.
Star Wars Lando.
Bad Batch. Yeah.
Yeah, a Droid Story, which is supposed to have a Droid Story was supposed to be new. What's his name? The the Vader, the Anakin, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi from the prequel movies are gonna come back
Right.
for a
Yeah,
show.
the same actor who plays Anakin. Yeah.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Visions Rogue Squadron, which is made by the Wonder Woman's director Patty Jenkins. They have a lot of stuff. Of course, we know about Avatar. I mean, Raya and the Last Dragon. They could actually do a Zootopia. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. I implore you to go check out the list. I'm pretty sure you'll find a few things you like.
It's just saying Disney Plus, like, yep, we
Right.
got you.
Oh, and
There's
of
no-
course, this was be an origin story for Buzz Lightyear.
Slides.
Oh yeah, and Chris Evans is gonna be the voice, which
Yeah,
is gonna be weird.
No. Because the thing is, people got it.
I mean, it wouldn't be the
people got it
it
wrong.
wouldn't be the first time that Buzz Lightyear has a different voice.
No.
Remember
hold
the
on.
animated series?
Hold on. The thing is, people got it all mixed up. They thought it was he was gonna voice Buzz, but
Mhm.
he's actually voicing a different character from the same toys of Buzz
Oh.
Lightyear's. Because
Oh.
it's the origin story, so it's gonna be based on obviously all the toys that look like Buzz, and
It's
one of
basically-
them is like the main dude who's not Buzz, but is voiced by Chris Evans. And
Gotcha.
people thought it was like,
Oh,
Buzz
okay.
Lightyear
Makes sense.
now has a new voice. It's like, no, it's not like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
But
so
I mean, it wouldn't be anything weird because I mean, in the animated series, it wasn't Tim Allen voicing Buzz
Right.
Lightyear; it was another guy.
yeah, that was weird. But people didn't like. I mean,
Yeah,
even
but-
if that is that way, whatever, and they're doing something new. And I mean, I think even what's the name of the actor who plays Obi-Wan? Evan
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan
He said that
McGregor,
he was like so
Wait, that played Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
yeah,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
So obviously, you know, you said that the series is coming up, and obviously, yesterday he was like so happy about the fact that, you know, the other actor who played Anakin is coming back, and he's glad that he's gonna be able to share the stage with him again. And also, I think there was the main reveal that he was coming back. The dude who everyone hated back in the day, and now everyone
Hayden
likes.
Christensen?
Yeah, Chris, whatever.
Oh, the
Canadian.
Hayden Christensen.
Anakin, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But now everyone likes him because they saw he was actually a good actor. Well, according to Lucas, yeah, he is a great actor, whatever.
Yeah, but Lucas is the one that made those movies.
yeah. But even the people who were like done the theory reviewers on YouTube, they say like he's a
Well, back then when everybody was just hating the prequels, right? When they first made
Yeah, they just hated him and his acting, but they didn't get the fact that the reason why he was so monotone on his acting is because Lucas told him that was the way he needed to play the role.
It wasn't that. It was because people back in those days that wasn't their Star Wars. Really. Like and now
I see.
people like us that, you know, obviously wasn't born back in the in the 60s or in the 70s that didn't grow up with the original Star Wars. We grew up with the 2000s Star Wars. Obviously,
they're the ones.
See those movies
So-
and have a
don't pass those.
like a bond or connection to those movies. But we see the newer movies now, and we're like, "What the fuck are these movies?" Right? But my brother younger than him, and being like that, it's kind of like the same thing, right? So like people at our age love Hayden Christensen, but like people who are older hate the actor and hate what they did with that trilogy of movies, right? It's just it's the times and the people and basically fans
she changes.
and
Yeah.
just right.
So what do you guys think about Black Panther 2? Obviously, they announced it.
What I wanted to talk about was so they pretty much confirmed that they're not recasting
Shall we?
Yeah.
at all. Like they're not even going to recast what's his name, T'Challa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not recasting him at all. So what do you guys?
Which
think
is going to
that-
be Shuri.
You think he's going to just follow Shuri now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's going to be, because I mean that's what happens in the comics as well. The comics
you
Shuri
think-
becomes Black Panther.
Would you think like that this Shuri, how she's portrayed on screen, you think she's ready?
No.
No.
Uh,
Well, they can make.
I mean, they could make a movie around her, but
Yeah.
First time I'm asking you, like, one is this person have that they is ready for being a hero in the fictional story, and do you think the actor has enough in her
acting chops.
to pull off being the lead?
look, people.
Well, we seen her being like that snappy, like smart, alecky, but also intelligent character, but we've never, well, that I've seen from outside of Black Panther as an actor, I haven't seen her in a serious role, right? So
Right.
for us, because Black Panther, he's not like her. She's like very she's the vice versa of T'Challa in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's just I feel like we haven't seen that side of her as an actor. So we may see that side where she does maybe take it a little down and she's more grounded, because maybe they will play up that T'Challa did die in like in the Marvel cinematic, and then so she basically has to take the reins, and so she's more serious, and maybe her brother's death affected her, and so she's not that happy-go-lucky smart alecky girl. She's now more of a woman who's more grounded and who has to take care of a kingdom, so she won't be as eccentric as she was in the last movie.
But I don't. We don't know if they're gonna even like acknowledge the fact that the Black Panther T'Challa dies.
That's one perspective as me reflecting to the comics, right?
Uh,
So it's just that's something that they may do because it happened in the comics.
mhm.
So it just because in the comics, T'Challa becomes he's not Black Panther anymore. He doesn't have his powers, but then he becomes the King of the Dead, which he has different powers now. So it's just things happen in the comic, and which they could usually reflect in the movie. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what kind of storyline. I'm sure that it's. I mean, if they do make a movie, I'm sure it's gonna be just like Captain Marvel. I'm 100% sure.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. And people gonna be because now if people gonna come back to watch Black Panther 2 because of Black Panther 1, the first one, and they think they're gonna have the same essence, but they're gonna come and realize it's gonna be like Marvel, like Captain Marvel.
I mean, I think it's gonna be like Black Panther. I think that Captain Marvel had the unfortunate timing of being like an entry level Marvel movie in when did that movie come out?
2019.
Really?
Yeah.
It came out 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it had the
Trash.
unfortunate timing of being a movie, a Marvel entry movie in 2019, after like it's already been established and after it was wrapping up. The fourth stage was wrapping up, the first phase, it says, of the whole MCU. But it was also an origin story. Technically, Shuri already has her origin story. I mean, she's already been there. She's already been on screen. Now, if you mean they're gonna take the whole feminist angle,
Yeah. And that's what's gonna ruin it. Instead of like going deep and developing a story that makes sense.
I know. It depends, man. Because the thing is, it's Black Panther already takes the black angle, right? No,
but I mean, let's say dig deeper into character or who she is and what could be instead of going into the idea of. Go ahead, Ruben.
I just want to know how they're gonna make the transition between Chadwick Boseman and.
We'll still find out.
Oh, I mean, the thing is, Black Panther doesn't really have powers. They get it from that little flower, so anyone can really have Black Panther.
Yeah, she can get high and go at it.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be hard to just go the Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is mostly like just a feminist angle.
Yeah, that's what.
But the thing is that you can't really do that with Black Panther, because if you just go feminist,
bro, you haven't learned nothing about Hollywood right now. Come on, man, come on. They're gonna do a whole. Obviously, they're gonna come back to the whole like black woman empowerment.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna do the whole liberal thing about that, and if they do that, they're gonna ruin it. because they have obviously they have an opportunity to make something good, but if they go the whole route, are they gonna ruin it?
I mean, we'll see. Because sometimes like it can go pretty well.
Tell me, I name one
Of what?
a movie that has gone well if they go that whole route.
Of black woman empowerment.
No, like just woman empowerment. Just put it in out there like Captain Marvel did.
I mean, see, that's not really fair to say like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Now Captain Marvel was
you know,
a flop.
you know,
You say like Captain Marvel.
Because that's the thing is if you do it the full way, if you go because say if they go the full way like that, they're gonna ruin it. But maybe if they go like half and half, maybe like Wonder Woman, like they did like put some toads on the whole woman empowerment thing, but they didn't like just
Wonder Woman is just like that.
But but they could have done it like that and it just fucked it up. You get me? They could have just gone. Come on, man.
It was forced in some scenes, but it didn't damp me from the start. What damped me from the start was the final boss scene.
That's what I'm saying. Like they could have gone that way, and it seems like the second movie might have a little bit more of that, but we'll see. But I mean, I'm saying like it wasn't Captain Marvel bad. Like they fucking forced the fact that female empowerment, you could do whatever you want if you're a female. That I was like, even those scenes are fucking like, ugh. Like I mean, when I went to see, I hate the fact that I actually went to see that shit in theaters. Like didn't
you slept for more than half.
No. I actually saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole thing. The one I fucking slept on was the Bumblebee movie.
You slept in Bumblebee. You slept in Joker.
But Wonder Woman, I actually sat down and watched the whole thing. I actually was really mad that I didn't sleep through that shit. I mean, because
I think like it's gonna have to be a little different. I want to see how they meld it because like they can't just have feminists; they have to have black feminists, and I want to see how they tackle that. I want to see how they tackle that.
Same shit.
No, it's not.
So what about this Fantastic Four?
Fantastic
Go ahead. Change it. What else we have?
Fantastic Four to be honest. You should just get rid
we knew this though.
You know, I just
Fantastic Four is really important.
I saw a post of John Krasinski, and he what is his wife Emma. John Krasinski's wife, the one that's gonna come out in like the Jungle Cruise with Jabrock. What's the name of the actress? She's British.
Yeah, she's British. Emily Blunt.
Yeah, there you go. So Emily Blunt, I saw a post of Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, and the guy from the One Direction as the flame boy or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah. So I was like, I don't know about that casting, but we'll see.
Who's the thing?
I don't know. They just had the thing there. They didn't say who was the actor. But yeah, so only those three. Like he was her, John Krasinski, and the dude from One Direction. The only one that acts.
I forgot his name, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Harry Styles or something?
Yeah, Harry Styles.
But I mean,
we'll see.
Fantastic Four is super important in the MCU. I mean, in Marvel in general.
Fuck studios, it's fucked it all up.
No, they threw out a movie so they could keep the rights.
Yeah, but how are they gonna make Fantastic Four? It's already shitty, like shitty version.
Well, you have to understand. It's a lot of Fantastic Four. They have to make it just because Fantastic Four ties a lot of the Marvel universe, and so and also if you don't have Fantastic Four, you don't also have their enemies,
right?
And then so it just.
Like,
a huge part of Fantastic Four is Galactus, and if you don't introduce Fantastic Four, you don't. It's kind of like that Venom explanation, right? Venom just popped out, but where the fuck was Spider-Man when Spider-Man was introduced? Right.
Yeah,
so you started having those story shits where you're like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right. Now I just wonder who's gonna be the cast.
Nah, hold up. Now we're talking about Spider-Man. Like, let's move on to the other news. What's it called?
Go for it.
Alfred Molina's Doc Ock returns for Spider-Man 3. And obviously all this news, like they want to introduce all these characters or do cameos in it. I don't know, it just gives me a lot of Spider-Man 3 vibes.
I mean, I think they're gonna do Into the Spider Verse. Like I said, I've said it since the summer, since we restarted the podcast. Is like, the plan was originally for Into the Spider Verse to be the 3 Spider-Mans, which is Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. But Sony shot it down. It's possible that they could have brought it back, seeing how well Into the Spider Verse did after, because the person who had the idea for the live action Into the Spider Verse created the animated one. And the movie did so well, they probably just like, all right, just let them do it then.
Yeah, I mean, and it only confirmed what Jamie Foxx posted on his personal Instagram, because he posted all 3 of them, and then his fucking and his Electro over them, and then he had to take it down, like that same day. So I was just like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Yeah, they wouldn't care about some random fan made posted. Like once he posted
it, and it was fan art too. It wasn't like it was concept art or anything. It was fan art.
Yeah, but I think it was already given that it's gonna go.
Yeah, he definitely gave away.
So.
Yeah.
Get away for sure.
These all the movies that we're coming out too.
That we talk about it.
Wars.
I mean, it was confirmed.
I think the Ant-Man and Wasp is so boring.
Armor Wars.
What about the casting for Thor: Love and Thunder?
Christian Bale was to play some character. I just forgot who it was.
This is the bad guy, the main villain. I forgot who.
And it's crazy that they're implementing gore, because for those who don't know, like Ray and maybe Ruben, Gore is actually a character that goes around killing gods in the Marvel universe, and he uses a sword called the All Black, or the Necro Sword, which is something that ties into comics right now, which is the King in Black, which is Null, the symbiote god. Which, and a few people who've seen the Hellstrom trailer, there was like a swirl symbol that they had in one scene of the trailer, which implements the symbiotes that come straight from Null. So it looks like they're trying to implement Null into the Marvel universe as the big bad towards the end of like this whole new third.
You think they're going symbiote route?
Yeah, because it kind of makes sense, because in Hellstrom they showed that now they're introducing Gore that has the Necro Sword, which comes from Null, and so it's just like, oh, and now they're doing the Into the Spider-Verse with, and so it just
tying the MCU together. You think
they're tying everything together. And so we all thought that Galactus was going to be the the end big bad, the next one, but it's in actuality going to be Null.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though, because we did kind of say it at the time when we said like they were going to go Secret Wars, that the Beyonders are like way more powerful than any MCU character they ever introduced.
Right.
And so we all kind of had a thought that it's impossible to do that without giving them like some crazy power boost.
Right.
But no,
Yo, no. Right now, like for those who are reading the story, right, and been reading Venom Beyond, and now the continuation to that, which is King in Black.
Yeah.
He made.
Don't get me wrong, he's cool, but I'm just like, why go the route of such a? Because I'm surprised that they went such a route of a character most people don't know about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think it's because it's so popular now in the comic books that they're seeing such a surge that it's happening in Marvel Comics just because of that character alone, that they're like, oh shit, they're reacting to it. They're like, we have to implement this in the cinematic universe. Because it'll get butts in the fucking theaters. And if they implement symbiotes, then they actually have to implement Venom. So that's the whole tie-in of why Null is coming to Marvel Cinematic Universe, is because of Venom and his kid, for those who don't know. Spoilers. So it's gonna tie into that. And the thing is, it's weird because also Null makes celestials into symbiotes. So like
Yeah,
he's
no, the
he's
god.
Noel
Yeah.
is essentially he's like
He's an elder god. He's like
he isn't
Cthulhu.
well he's even the
Cthulhu level?
prelude of that because he's basically what didn't exist. He's like the light in Marvel Universe. There's light and there's dark, and he's basically the representation of the void of the darkness. He's like he's basically the personification of evil.
Yeah, I could see
And
that. I've seen that.
right, and then so he's his own thing, and he fucking makes things to anything. Like, and that's what's crazy about his character.
Yeah.
I mean, he for those who don't read the story or who know what the Sentry is basically Superman in the
Yeah.
Marvel comics. And recently, in #1 of King in Black, he ripped the Sentry in half. So
Well,
it's
damn.
just it's like saying he ripped Superman in half without even sweating it.
Yeah, no,
That's power.
He was there
Yeah.
before the Celestial.
Right. He was.
Yeah.
I mean, he controls Celestials now. So
Right.
it's
Like,
just,
if
it's
you-
crazy.
That's right. He's on the side. He's like on the level of like Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, he's that powerful they could kill him.
I mean, yeah. He's
pretty strong.
the living tribunal will probably have a tough time with him too because he's just.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I would. And it
No, 'cause
stated
the living
as well.
tribunal is the emissary of God.
Right, but the thing is, what Marvel is introducing now, because they're kind of redacting his story into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because
I mean, the Beyonders did kill him, so I guess.
right, and then so
Yeah,
the
who
thing
killed
is, Null is being represented again as a representation of just nothingness. So the thing is that he's basically God is basically in the Marvel universe light and he's dark, so he's just basically opposite of that.
No. In the Marvel universe, God is God.
Well, okay, if we want to get technical, God and representation in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you want to really get technical,
in the
into the nitty-gritty,
universe
in the cinematic universe is totally different. But what I'm saying
Right.
in the comics is like Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, and then us as the reader.
Okay,
right,
no, I'm not
us
talking
as-
that far.
Right. But what I'm saying, like in the comics, that's how it is right now. But if they're going to bring in Null, that's how they're going to reflect it into the cinematic universe.
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole shit show.
Yeah.
Because they do
Yeah,
have the one above all,
And then the one below all,
but that's
as
not
well.
null. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right, and with that, and then that's where the implications and the things kind of diverge, because they're like, well,
you say he's like what's his name, Darkseid, who's just sending avatars out.
That's what they're saying, but this is his actual true form because he actually had to be released because symbiotes actually created a world around him in order to imprison him. So it's actually his body. So, but they're saying that the one below all is a representation of Null. Because the one below all doesn't actually have a physical body, like a manifestation of a physical body. It's always like a gas or whatever in the Hulk comics. So they're saying that Null is actually the one below all. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I
Ray's like, I don't know anything.
No.
No.
I understand the concept of it, right? But to get there, oh my god.
Yeah, and it's
Just to get
trust me,
there.
it's gonna take forever.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Ten movies
Because
before
you said
we get there.
everything has to tie together. So I was like, oh my
Actually,
god.
no, not
Right,
ten
that's
movies.
what I was
Like
thinking.
five
It's like
movies more.
because we said that it couldn't be Galactus unless like some nut shit happened.
Right.
And so if you take Null, that's like more nut shit has to happen. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, like
Like that's what I was like, but no, like
Yeah.
that's
why
still
can't
like
you get like a little clip in Venom versus Carnage?
Let's see. What else we have here?
After
if
that.
it is Null, it'll probably be a heavily depowered Null.
Probably.
I don't think they're gonna walk into that realm of like.
Yeah, they'll
God,
probably
that
nerf
level.
him.
Yeah.
In certain ways because he's too OP in the fucking
Yeah.
in the comics.
Wait, how OP
Everyone
he
who's
is?
Celestial or above are pretty OP.
Wait, how OP he
Yeah.
is? 'Cause
But
I
you
know
saw like what
He's basically God. Just like
he's
think
a
of God at evil. That's all. Like think of he's basically the devil. And like in our world where there's God and there's devil and the devil like he's the devil basically essentially.
That seems legit. Either way,
Left to go.
what else we got here before we get to the God concept?
I mean, we have another god called Lucky.
But okay, what do you think about this? Like they're giving him his own movie. I don't know what it's
You
based on. I
mean
never seen it.
his show?
Series.
Oh, it's a show. I thought it was a movie.
Yeah, it's just a show. It's not a movie.
Okay.
So they're giving him his own series, and it's supposedly what happens, and when they're gathering all the stones, and he gets the space stone, and then he disappears.
Okay, so doing that
but
moment.
that happens when they go back in time. So it's like basically another timeline that he took.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right, and then and it shows because at the end credit scenes, it shows him donning a different head ornament, so he doesn't have those long horns anymore. He has the short ones, and that shows the modern version of what Loki kind of looks now, in his younger state, like in his younger form and like adolescence.
Damn, when is this coming out?
You think they're gonna have a kid Loki show?
I don't know. I don't think there will be a kid, but I think they'll have like all like his because they put him in that costume. They put him in that adolescent costume, but it's still the actor. It's still him. So I feel like we're going because he's like he's known to like transport and go to different dimensions and stuff like that.
Right.
So it could be that he's playing different timelines and shit like that. So it could be that like he just fucking with certain shit, and it seems like there's like a higher power that he's serving because he's imprisoned and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, it looks fun, but we'll see.
This is a show they have.
Yeah. So essentially, yeah. So this phase of the MCU is what I also noticed is that they're really playing with dimensions, like time and space now. Like if you notice, like WandaVision, she's warping space. This one Loki's warping space. The new Doctor Strange movie is about him traveling through different dimensions. It's a lot. It's been a lot of that around now. I think what this is just there needs something to bridge the gap between all the BS they're about to add.
Yeah.
So they're just making like, oh, look at all these dimensions, Fantastic Four. Look at all these dimensions, Deadpool. Look at all these dimensions. Like you know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, I think they have to bridge a gap because if they're gonna introduce Secret Invasion, right?
They're gonna introduce Blade, X-Men, Fantastic
right.
Four. Yeah, it's crazy.
So like all those parallels and all that shit, they have to come sense from somehow. And so like obviously they have to tap into like dimensions and different timelines and alternate things and multiverse and all this shit.
Yeah, and I also think they want to try to disconnect the movies too. Because like what happens in like you have Spider-Man, right? You have the ultimate version and you have the amazing
right.
blah blah. And so it's like I think they also want to do stuff like that where they just make a movie off some BS and be like, oh well, it's not that universe. Like, you know what I mean? Like the typical comic book stuff, right? Whenever you need a retcon, it was a different universe, a different time.
Right.
So like I think that's what they're trying to do as well. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but we'll see.
I'm just more curious about the Dark Vader show, to be honest. The one's gonna come out.
Dark Vader show.
Oh, the one with him and Obi-Wan.
Oh, Obi-Wan, but it's coming out.
Yeah,
like
because he returns as Darth Vader.
Yeah. But they said that the fight was gonna happen like at the end of the season, the first one, and it takes place 10 years after, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it seems like that's most of the stuff they have for Disney, right? And obviously they also like comment on other stuff like National Geographic, some other movies that just like casually taken out, almost like those movies that you see in like Disney Channel.
Yeah,
and obviously we have a lot of projects to to hope for in the
Did you
future.
ever see Disney Channel movies, right?
Yeah, it's trash.
Yeah, which one was your favorite?
I don't want to mention because I don't have it. I don't have it.
Lie.
I don't have it. I sure. I don't
You
because
like
like
Kim
the thing is
Possible?
this thing
Kim Possible.
Kim Possible. Oh, the stupid movie. No. No. Look. I only remember the shows, or I remember most of the movies. Because like the Disney Channel came like after. I think it became popular right when Nickelodeon went down, Cartoon Network went down. But I wasn't a big. By then, already I outgrown watching TV. But
he never
anyways,
watched TV after that. He was
yeah, no, the Disney
more
thing
like
and
a
everything.
soccer guy. Oh, soccer.
No. After that, yeah,
yeah.
I started watching all the stuff. Anyways,
Yeah, soccer.
so what do you think about all this like future content we have to hope for? It seems a lot, right? It seems like a lot, obviously. Like let's say we just had Andres talking about this whole concept that they had to get to, but it seems like there's a lot of content they still had to like make. That's like what 10 years of content.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I
Showing
think
off.
I don't
What is it?
I don't know. I personally, about it comes to the content.
Because
I
okay,
think
how long did it?
Oh no. Oh,
Wait, hold up. How long did it took them to build the whole Marvel universe to get to
about 4
what they
years.
got?
But
About
to
4
get to
years?
where it is, it's about 4 years.
No,
And
because
then
like
from
when did they
there,
release the first Iron Man?
One in
2010, right?
2008. 2008 is when it came
Imagine.
out.
So it
Yeah.
took like 12 years to build it to here.
No. I mean, to build the MCU. No, I say once the first Avengers came out, that's when it was like, okay.
Yeah,
this is
the first
MCU.
Avengers is
Yeah.
when they
Okay.
decided to start building the universe.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so
So,
I'll say like it took
I-
4 years. The thing is,
I
it's
think
just
it's gonna
that
take less, right?
it feels like they're gonna stretch themselves thin. Like if they have so much, you know what I mean? They have so much. So like so much just Marvel stuff. I'm just like, because we're talking about like TV shows. This is a whole different monster from a movie, right? And so it's like I feel like they're gonna stretch themselves thin, and one of these shows might end up being real bad.
I'm sure. Like, remember those
Yeah.
shows that we were watching on Netflix, where they were coming out? I think one of them's the Iron Fist.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one wasn't that good.
it was the worst one.
Yeah. I would like I like all the rest of them, but I didn't like the Iron Fist. There was like
Yeah.
so cheesy and whatever. But I actually saw the whole thing. I watched the whole thing with my dad.
It was about a rich kid who became poor. And had to learn how to be rich again.
So I was like, you had nothing else to watch. You fucking watch that. I mean, I didn't even watch the second season. They had a second season for some reason.
Yeah, it had a second season, bro. Like I got to like 2 episodes. I was just like, I can't. Man.
Yeah, the
Like,
second season. Yeah, the second
first
season was the
episode was a
worst.
struggle. The second episode, I was like, okay, you got me. So like, I can't. do it.
Yeah.
It
So
was
I'm
so
sure one
bad.
of these shows is gonna be like this. It's gonna be so unwatchable,
Well,
and that's the problem with the streaming services. What happened?
So who do you think won, HBO Max or Disney Plus?
We don't know yet.
Well, bro, it's Disney Plus, my guy. They have almost
Yeah.
100 million subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you saw like the stock went like from 145 to 150 something.
And that's another company that no one is talking about with their projects and their movies coming out going to their streaming services.
Yeah, it's different because they already negotiated previously for those.
I think
Right,
they
but that's what
more
I'm
to
saying.
the shows than movies.
Like, look, that's not the problem. The problem is like, bro,
Yeah, we
sit
know.
down with these people.
No, I'm just saying we don't have to go
Oh,
into it. I'm just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
that they're just another company.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
You know, we don't hear shit like that.
They're because they're doing it well. They're doing it
Right.
well. They're
Well,
not,
that's not true. In the beginning, we heard when they, I think was it Onward, right? Onward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when they put it to streaming service. A lot of theaters like, what the hell? Like, we didn't agree to this. So they did have problems. It's just that I think like
it wasn't a big deal for Onward, I guess.
I think the theater just got over it because it's like they said, like,
Right.
if you don't want to show Disney movies, cool. That's like 90% of your movies is gone, which is the problem with Disney Plus. Is like I think it's clearly a kind of a monopoly. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Right.
and it's like I
They
said
do
to
own
everyone, you
everything.
kind of have to get Disney Plus because they took like
The whole thing.
they own like
Fox
1/3 of the movie
Studios, Marvel
industry at this point.
Studios. Yeah. It's unfair. Yeah, it's unfair. Fuck Disney.
And then when they bought
They're gonna buy
when they
Netflix
bought
later.
by buying Fox, they got a controlling stake of Hulu.
Watch, you're gonna
So
buy
yeah,
fucking
you know,
Netflix.
Yeah.
Disney Plus and Hulu now, so it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Like,
that's what they
it's
announced it
too much.
together.
Well, Hulu's out. Netflix, I don't see nothing.
It's Netflix, Disney Plus, and
But Netflix is doing nothing.
I always forget the third one, but it's a pretty good one
ESPN.
that people are telling about.
What Netflix did just raised the prices. That's all it did.
I mean, they came out with a few
Hulu.
shows and movies and original series.
Netflix.
If you paid attention
Yeah.
on Netflix.
It ran from $9.99 that was paying to fucking $18.
Thank you, not net neutrality. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for Ajit Pai's ass to get this cat off.
Oh, I know. But do you think you're gonna see any changes just because that fool leaves?
Well, he was the one we had changed back when before he got in. When he got in, that's what he did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
You said, are we gonna go back? I
do you
hope
think
so.
we're gonna go back because
hope so.
just because he leaves?
Well, no, because he was the way.
No, I understand. I understand he was the biggest proponent of it. Trust
No,
me,
no,
I
no,
understand that.
No, it's because the way the council is set up, it's like it's balanced for Democrats and Republicans. He was the Republican side who tipped the balance out, who tipped it out of balance. It's before we had a Democrat who tipped it out of balance in our favor.
Right.
So with him out, if we don't get another corrupt Democrat, then change.
Look.
Hopefully.
I look. Knowing how Democrats work, they're just gonna put it under the rug. I was like, nothing happened here. Let's just continue.
Bro,
Bro,
We're not on political peasants.
No, but I'm just, but essentially that's what
can't wait for him
happens.
to get out of here, man. Like it was an embarrassment. Like this whole Trump presidency was an embarrassment for this country.
Yeah, we all know that.
But I can't wait for that neutrality come back.
Hopefully, can it?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think that Netflix is gonna lower the prices, but at least it'll maybe slow it down by slow down the rise.
We could hope for the least. Whatever you expect for the least. That's the Democrats.
So nothing at all, man.
Yeah, that's the Democrats in the show. They're like Democrats are just enablers. Okay. All right.
It's just crazy.
Okay.
Can't wait for that.
Okay. I think we have run out of things just to talk about. What else? Okay. All right, guys.
We talk about your mustache.
No. Yeah.
Just how you feel about Ray's mustache? I think it makes
he's gonna talk shit. Let me look.
I think it looks like make it look like a car salesman.
No, look. I look like I need to shave.
Maybe a cholo in the right light.
No, whatever.
Yeah, cholo in the right light.
No, the thing is, he went to emphasize that I look like Hitler or some reason or whatever.
He doesn't look like Hitler.
ain't
Not today.
Not today or whatever.
Maybe tomorrow if he wakes up on the right side of the bed.
All right, guys. I think we could say we're done for today. We're gonna catch up next week when we have most of our when we have
Our
Max and Josh that disappeared midway because I think he went dancing or something.
Yeah, we're gonna come back next week.
Yeah. Hopefully we have.
The podcast is not going to be any more interesting, though.
Yeah.
It's not going to be any more interesting than it is right now.
We all can agree that Ray was up the whole podcast. He didn't.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was about to sleep.
You know why? Because there were some talks of movie snob.
No, because you know why? Because at the beginning when you guys talked about Cyberpunk, I was like, okay. I had not much to say more than just talk shit. And then when you that's just like, okay, let's just hope that you stop talking about and that's why I chime in and say, okay, Ray's tracing, fuck that shit.
Just because Ray realized this was going to be the most interesting podcast that you had, so he had to jump in.
No, because
this is
look.
Remember, okay, look, think of it this way, okay, look. There's normally 1, 2, 6 people in a podcast, okay?
Yeah.
And that many people, I'm diluted. Okay, I'm 1 out of 6 people.
Yeah.
All right, and that means the proportion of podcasts that is me is lower. But as people leave, okay, the proportion of me that is the podcast goes up. Now I'm 1 out of 4. Now I'm 25%. Okay, now I'm 25% of the podcast, and that's why it's more interesting. Look,
can I?
More orphan to love.
And so as I become 1/3 of the podcast, it's going to become even more interesting.
1/3 of the podcast.
The only time that is more interesting, we don't know why Political Peasants is doing so well. It's because of one half.
You know what? I'm just gonna start playing.
Look.
It's one half of the podcast, and so you get 50% me. In all the videos in which there's no Ray in it, it's me because it's 100% me.
Bro,
That's
look,
not
look, Kenny.
possibly.
We already tried that. We already tried that when they gave you an opportunity to showcase your skills and shit without me. And you know how poorly you did. You couldn't even talk to the fucking camera. So whatever.
Like I did
Whatever,
so
bro.
well,
Bro,
that Ray didn't want to come back.
You know what? No.
He's like, there's no point in me being here.
You did so bad that you couldn't even fucking do the introduction well.
Look at it right now. Even Ruben understands. He cut off his camera so he could give me more power.
Whatever. But you didn't show your face, bro. You didn't show your face.
Exactly. If I showed my face, it would overload the audience.
No, what the fuck?
That great.
Look. Okay. I'm sure. Look, I'm not gonna say that you don't command most of the podcast because you do talk most of it because you have, I guess, a balanced knowledge of every other topic. A balanced knowledge of every topic because you're like, look, Andres talks what he knows.
A long time ago,
Ruben barely talks. I barely talk. Max, it's barely most of the time.
I was so great that a long time ago they wrote a book about me turning someone into sand just because they look at me.
Okay, whatever. Whatever, Kevin. All right, so is enough for today, guys. Thank you for staying tuned to today's podcast. Make sure to if you come here and in the middle, if you don't see the topic you want to see, you just skim through it, you'll see it. Next week we'll have our crew back. Maybe more interesting because I'm sure right now you're tired of hearing Kenneth. It's gonna. When you're not here, it's more interesting. We have more fun. Andrew's actually more fun. He talks more. Anyways, guys.
I just want you to know I'm so great that Ray decided to stay up today for me. Okay, that's how great.
Stay up.
I'm 1/4 of the.
You know why I stood up because I had to say something about that movie. Because
I'm 1/4 of the podcast. When I'm 1/6, he's just like it's not enough. That's no point. That's how Ray thinks. He's like, it's not enough.
You're not even 1/8.
Is that right, Ray?
No. All right, guys. See you next week. Take care, y'all. Especially with COVID and everything. Any last comments, guys? Anything to say?
Remember, guys.
Check out our Gameplayx4 page on Instagram. We're gonna keep you guys updated with many news that happen during the day. So yeah, that's it. Check out the rest of the crew.
Hashtag Voltorb supremacy.
No, whatever. Whatever, Kenneth. All right, guys. Peace. Take care.
Peace.